Oh, well, everybody know who I want next. I want Terence Crawford next.
You're going to make that happen?
Huh?
You're going to make that happen?
Oh, definitely. That's the fight that I want. That's the fight everybody else want. Like I said, I'm going to get these straps that I'm going to go over there and take his shit too.
All right. Errol, congratulations. Terrific fight this evening.
Thank you, man. Down. Strap season. I know what time it is, baby. Terrence, I'm coming for that motherfucking belt.
All right.
I'm not catching fades anymore. Gotta keep my hands clean when they come for the board. Keep it smooth like a dawn, making moves in the dark. Cause I learned how to swim in the pool full of sharks. Now they coaches, cause they can't read all his motions. How the kid never switch codes, but he code switch focus. Staring down your team with a frozen, ice cold look that could end the summer solstice. Cause I'm more like the top dog. Keep on running game and the gang will accost y'all. I be calling plays from a plane while I'm off court. But we ain't the same, you a lame, I'm a mob star. Actually, I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athletes. When the cop cars try to catch me, cause I rolled off in a taxi. With my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pull strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode, I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, God vibes, I'm the kingpin. They know I'm a dog and a beast, man. Yeah, I keep the peace with a piece, man. I ain't got no time for a piece, man. Why would I respond to a pawn? I'm the... Hold up.
If I let my dogs off the leash, then you might want to get out of Dodge while they eat me. Honestly, think it's not the blood and the beat. If they don't leave anything behind after eating.
I can see you soft, ever thought about retreating. If you never have, then they'll give you a reason. Better watch your tone, lose your bass when you speaking. Underneath the mask is the wrath of a... When you learn how to smile in their face, then go cutthroat. Then they wanna call you a con when the blood cold. I remember starving while y'all had a truckload. Now I'm with the mob with the call and the gusto. I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athletes. When the cop cars try to catch me, cause I rolled off in a taxi. With my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pull strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode, I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, God vibes, I'm the kingpin.
You know, Canelo. Steroids. Y'all don't talk about that. So we don't know. We really don't know all the fighters he beat, and even what he could have been not clean in a lot of fights.
Do you think he was clean the night he fought you?
I'm saying I don't know. I don't know. That's y'all. Just Canelo. Come on, man. The kid was a cakewalk. Kid easy.
You named 5 fighters.
My bad. God damn it. I had to goddamn. Y'all, I ain't even clicked myself in. I've been talking all this goddamn time, ain't even clicked myself in. God damn it. I had to goddamn. Y'all, I ain't even. Okay, we gotta go through all that shit again. So anyway, the three fighters that that make Mexican fans uh upset. Let me see, I got to turn my man, I don't know. I got a habit of doing that. What's going on, Greeks with fire in the building? Let me see. I may have to cut that damn part out with what he was saying, Canelo, steroids. That's why they hate Floyd, man. Cause Floyd gonna talk shit about the way he beat your ass. I gave Omega Reg a shout out and everything. He couldn't even hear it, man, because I ain't even clicked myself in. But I got to go through all that. I've been talking all kind of shit without being clicked in. Um, anyway, number one is Floyd Mayweather, man. You know, he's the dude. He's the dude that really kind of exposed Canelo for what he was, and even though you remember how they were building him up, not Crawford. God damn it. He's the one that kind of exposed Canelo, him being 36 years old and an old man, what I'm saying? Everybody thought that. You see how muscular? I think they said Canelo was 164 for this fight. I know there was other rumors saying that he was up to 170, what I'm saying, during this fight. But this fight was so beautiful. It was a showcase of Mayweather's skills and talent, and what I'm saying, his the difference in his mindset and skills, the experience that he just totally destroyed Canelo in this fight. And Mexican fans, they hated it because this is when Canelo was becoming the new Chavez, what I'm saying, for the Mexican people. If y'all know who Cesar Chavez was, he was like Canelo, what I'm saying, like back in the day, what I'm saying, fighting Sweet Pea, Midrick Taylor, and guys like that. And so, and let me tell you, there was some exciting fights, what I'm saying. He was the Mexican hero. They even gave him a draw, just like Canelo, they gave him deference. They gave him the benefit of the doubt, even though clearly he got his ass whipped, right? And so they was gonna do Floyd like that in this fight. That's how much power you could see that was gathering around Canelo at that time. You know what I'm saying? Because he started getting these weird decisions and stuff like when he fought Laura and things like that. Laura should have been another loss for Canelo. So it was just like he just got this mystique where the judges just was not gonna let him lose. He was like the golden child, the golden one or something, where they were just gonna look out for him on the scorecards and stuff. But Floyd bust all that, you know what I'm saying? When he beat him, and they really get upset. They really get upset when you talk about Floyd and the way the ass whipping he put on there. They even give him excuses saying that, saying the man was young. Of course, he had 40 fights, but the Mexican fans go into a state of delusion. When I tell you they just can't, they go into denial when it comes to that ass whipping. Even though Floyd was 36 years old, what I'm saying, he was not in his prime, bro. Floyd was not supposed to be looking at that. So if Floyd can like really operate at that level at 36, what I'm saying, maybe Crawford got something left at 38 to be able to go out there. Because Canelo is a old 30-year-old, right? So I don't know his exact age. I forgot his exact age, but he's been fighting since he was 15. So that's a lot of training camps. That's a lot of wear and tear on your body. And we can see it from, saying some of his performances, his last performances. I think what was his name, Willie Scully. He couldn't even cut the ring off. He couldn't even cut the ring off in the last fight, man. You know what I'm saying? That looked horrible. Now, if I'm Crawford and I'm looking at him, he can't even cut off the ring from William Scully. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, what the hell he gonna do with Crawford? And you already know he can't handle the hand speed. So he can't handle the boxing part of it. He's got to hit you with them bolo punches. He's got to hit you with them lefts and them rights. He's got to explode into your body. You know what I'm saying? He's got to corner you. He's got to trick you. You know, so you got to fall for that little trick. You know, I was looking at Canelo. I said, everybody say he's so good. I don't understand. He does the same thing over and over. He cut off the ring. He hits you hard and hurts you. You know what I'm saying? While you up against the ropes, just like he did Jamel Charlo. So Floyd was, you know, if Bud took a whole year out, you know what I'm saying, I'm pretty sure he has been studying, you know what I'm saying, the techniques. He has been studying the techniques of Canelo. What's going on with me, Britain? What's going on, bro? Long time no see. What's happening?
What's the word, man?
Oh, nothing much, man. Nothing much. Just chilling. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah,
Boxing. Trying to get back, you know what I'm saying, get the chops back. What's happening
yeah.
with you?
Nothing much, man. Just waiting for the fight, man. You know, just been chilling, man.
What you think? Who you got?
Man, you already know I'm going on my boy Bud, man. I'm listening to what you saying, man, and I sure seen that last fight, man. That Williams score, man. Hey, he was landing on Canelo, man. Especially when he hit him with the uppercut. I was like, oh man, you know. And yeah, the commentating they was trash, man. But yeah, that fight wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It could have been a draw the way it was looking to me.
Yeah, I mean, but you already know there's no such thing as a draw with Canelo, right?
Yeah, yeah, I know how they coming.
And that, and I'm just saying, you know, when it come down to the judges and everything like that, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to beat Canelo in a close fight. It's almost impossible, you know.
Yeah, that's,
So
that's
Crawford,
true.
when he goes out there, he's gonna have to put on a dominant performance. That's
Definitely.
just what it is. He's gonna have to. It can't be no half stepping. You know what I'm saying? Him just outpointing him. You know, he's gonna have to shake Canelo a little bit. And what I was looking up yesterday, I was looking up the Steve Nelson, you know what I'm saying, which is one of Crawford childhood friends and
Yeah, yeah,
sparring partners. I think he's like a heavyweight man. And this guy, you know what I'm saying, he was talking about how he says Bud has some new he feels like more power coming from Bud since he's gained the weight in the camps and stuff. He said, man, he said he is really cracking right now. Now I know that's his friend. I don't know if
yeah,
he's just saying that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's just
yeah. I
saying
seen
that
that
shit.
same interview. I seen that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But he was trying to describe, what I'm saying, the power. But I was like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Because that's his friend. He's been sparring Bud since they were kids, right?
yeah,
And but I say if it's true, and from everything I'm calculating from, Bo Mac, of course, he talk a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? From what I'm calculating,
yeah,
what I'm saying, Bud might be, he might be trying to go in there to like really, what I'm saying, do some damage on Canelo.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm
On the back end, I heard him say some,
saying?
in the
Yeah.
later rounds. But did you hear about him sparring with Lester Martinez and how
Oh,
he had to pull out
yeah.
a fight because he had the migraine because Bud been cracking him. So you
Yeah, I
know,
mean, think about it. Lester Martinez, I saw his fights. He's good. He's really good, what I'm saying, for everybody who's in his weight class right now. Um, but you talk about fighting somebody who's, who know all the techniques, the angles. He's a smaller guy, so he's not gonna be able to keep up with Bud. You know what I'm saying? Bud, the speed and everything. But Lester Martinez is a beast, man. I
yeah,
mean, he's a
yeah,
beast. I was watching his fights. I said, this dude got power.
yeah,
Power. He's got technique. He's an offensive pressure fighter. That Lester Martinez, man, I was like, damn. And I heard Bo Mike talking about, hey man, I got this young boy, Lester. I was like, man, but yeah, they be finding, once your camp, kind of, explode, the win from Aerosmith Jr., people start
yeah,
coming over to your camp because when Aero was winning, they got Ryan Garcia, they got AJ to come through there. You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
sir.
Once you start winning, everybody wants to, they watching, what I'm saying, they want to be part of the winning team, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
so now Bud Camp is starting to get a lot of notoriety. And Bomac, the system that they got going over there seemed like it's very effective.
yeah,
Look like it's very look like, what I'm saying, they the team, they kind of becoming the team to go over there and improve in yourself.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
and
And
I'm talking.
yeah, and that just shows like he got some people he's sparring with too. Why they talking about Boots going over there with Canelo, So man, yeah, like you said, man, and not having to cut that weight and all that, that's probably gonna help Bud a lot. Not being having to cut weight. And so yeah, I just can't wait to see, what's gonna happen. But what I have been doing, I've been watching the old fights. Like I watched the Jaime Munguia fight again, right? So if you go back in the ninth round, it was a part where Jaime hit Canelo with a body shot, right? But he was crying to the ref, talking about it was low, but it wasn't low. I watched it, I kept watching it. Man, he really hurt Canelo. But then he told the ref, and then the ref stopped him from going, to the body. I think if Jaime would have went back to the body, he probably would have got him out of there. Like if you go
Yeah,
back and watch the fight in the ninth round, watch when he got that body shot. He ain't like that. And people don't go to Canelo body like that.
yeah, but also, Jaime just beat the case that
Yeah, he
steroid
did.
case.
He did.
You
He
know what I'm
did do
saying?
that too.
Because one thing we know, Jaime has no defense, bro. He's all
No,
offense.
no.
All offense. He got some fast hands. He's a pretty good kid, and he was taking it to Canelo ass too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He was getting in Canelo ass too now. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But Canelo knew he wasn't gonna be able to sustain it, you know what I'm saying, because he makes too many mistakes.
yeah,
He drops his hands when he go back. Sometimes he goes straight back. You know what I'm saying? How McGill, I mean, I'm surprised that, he didn't get none of that amateur stuff up out of his arsenal, you know what I'm saying? But and then he's cocky too. Once the fight start going good for him, he just forget about his defense is non-existent. And Canelo's experience, you know what I'm saying? He just outlasted him, you know what I'm saying, and just kind of, start breaking him down, And I was
yeah,
like, he think he can really go mano with Canelo? Come on, bro. He went mano with Triple G. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
Triple G is a crafty, son of a bitch. So,
yeah,
he done had too much experience, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And I'm my gear, he just stopped feeling himself and got,
Yeah, he
he got
definitely did.
yeah, he stopped feeling himself, and that was that. It's like
Yeah, he
boom.
definitely did. But
I
yeah,
was
but
rooting
them,
for the kid. I was rooting for him.
yeah, them later rounds though, it seemed like Canelo ran out of gas in that fight. That's what I'm saying. Like when the ninth round he hit him with that body shot. After that, it was like Canelo couldn't do nothing. Then it was like Munguia was on his ass. But like you said, he wasn't going. After he got that knockdown, he definitely wasn't going to win the fight then. So
Yeah, I think he knocked him down like 2 or 3 times in that fight, if my memory serves me
no,
correctly.
I think it was only once. I think it was like the third
No,
round. That was it.
no. I think he knocked him down. I think he knocked him down a couple of times, bro. I'm talking about it was like, and I think it was like in succession too. I think it was like back to
Mm,
back. I think. I got to go back and look at it. It's been a
yeah,
while.
I think he only did it one time. I just watched it the other day.
Oh,
I
okay,
think,
okay.
yeah, I think it was only one time. But if you do go back and look at that ninth round though, when Canelo got hit with that body shot, started crying at the ref. I was like, man,
Yeah,
it wasn't a low blow at all. Nowhere near.
that shit. That shit worse than when Tank got something in his eye when he got that
Oh
grease
yeah,
in his eye
yeah.
and
It
he
was like
said
that. It
time
was
out.
like that.
It's like and he took a knee. I was like, what the hell is going on in this?
Yeah,
I was like, what the hell going on, bro? It's like Tank got that power. That's when you know you got that power. But here's your boy. Let me see. Here's your boy. You know, talking about Bud and saying how hard he cracks and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I just want y'all to hear from the horse's mouth. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. This is under fair use for educational purposes.
And crack me the hardest anybody, because it's not about it's.
Let me see if I take it back just a little bit.
But man, I've in a fight and sparring anybody, Bud then crack me the hardest anybody, because it's not always about like how much muscle you got. Bud just know how to punch. He just know how to hit you in certain spots and certain timing that hurt. And like he'll lure you to sleep. He'll lure you, be sitting there boxing, and he like, dang, and like, but anybody ever sparred and fought, but hit me the hardest of anybody.
You heard it from Steve Nelson, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, maybe he got something for Canelo ass. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they do have a solid game plan for him. You know,
Yeah.
I was just going over the three fighters that kind of pisses off, you know what I'm saying, or pisses off the Mexican fan base, and that was Mayweather, Bivol, and David Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? They put cold fear inside of the Mexican fan base. Now we're going to have to probably add Terence Crawford because he's getting this swell of support. You know what I'm saying? Now all the champions are starting to say uh, Terence Crawford can beat him. You know what I'm saying? People are starting to circle the wagons. You know, so especially Andre Ward. Andre Ward is so loyal to Terence Crawford. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Anytime they ask him right off the bat, they say, Ward, who do you got? Man, I got Crawford. Man, I got Crawford. You know what I'm saying? They really believe in Crawford's willpower, you know, to win. And he is a crazy little black dude. He is crazy. You know what I'm saying? His competitiveness is off the chart. You know, every time I see him, he's competing with somebody, whether it's ping pong, um, whether it's it don't matter what it is, man. That dude is like a Michael Jordan. He's got that psychotic tendency, you know, what I'm saying, to want to compete, you know. Um, let me see. Oh my bro, you back?
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I seen Usyk saying he was going for Crawford too. I seen that. Yeah.
Hmm.
And he was
So
he, he was saying the same thing you was saying. He was like, yeah, Crawford, he different. He's crazy, man, but he different. But yeah, he was like he going for Crawford, and yeah, you know, he said that's
yeah,
a
but the
spread.
champions, but look at the swell of support that's getting behind Crawford because
Yeah,
Crawford had to sit through what I would consider a humiliation ritual. You know what I'm saying? During the press interview where Canelo asked him, you know what I'm saying, what elite fighter has he fought? And
yeah,
that
I
shit
seen
was
that.
so cold blooded. That shit was so cold blooded, bro. He was like, name a fighter, and he said, and Bud Crawford said that to him something. Victor
Every time.
Postal, he-
Yeah,
Victor Postal. He won't even mention Errol. You know what I'm saying? He won't even
yeah,
mention Errol because that's really the biggest name he ever fought.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
you know, something talking about Victor Postal. And then he gonna tell me something. Ricky Burns wasn't elite. Fuck no, Ricky Burns was not elite. He was not elite. You know what I'm saying? Victor Postal was not elite. I mean, in their league, in their division, you know, they
yeah,
were badass. But to the world, as far as being you know, being those special fighters
yeah.
that just brought fear, even though they called him the Iceman and all this kind of shit. He did, you know, he was a good boxer. You know what I'm saying? Ricky
Mhm.
Burns went out there and gave Crawford hell. He was an elite boxer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, you know, Crawford had the ability to raise the game and they, you know what I'm saying, and edge it out. You know what I'm saying, for these guys. You know what I'm saying? Of course, he went in there and beat Victor Postal. But to say that they were elite fighters, I thought that was really humiliating for Crawford because of course Canelo resume is what it is, even though
yeah,
he fought a lot, even though he fought a lot of legends, you know
yeah.
what I'm saying, at the end of their careers, right?
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
like Sugar Shane Mosley, you know what I'm saying? Shit. What's the other black guy that was at the end of his career? He only beat like maybe five black guys, something like that.
Yeah. And then
Um,
he fought Kodo too, right?
yeah, but I'm talking about the one who had the woman coach, I
Oh, you
can't
talking
even
about
call.
the guy he knocked out? What's his
Yeah,
name?
yeah.
Yeah, Canelo tried to say that was the guy who hit him the hardest. I forgot the guy name. No, I know who you
The one
talking
who
about.
had female coach. I was like, bro, come on now. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? It's like I mean, your resume is okay, but it's not what it's
Right.
all, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
he's trying to make it to be. But it's
yeah,
way better than Crawford's though. I'll
yeah.
tell you
But
that.
like Crawford said though, when he had the lead fights though, and he had them, he lost though every time he stepped up. So like he lost against Mayweather, he lost against Bebo. So he's like, yeah, you lost every time you had to step up. So
But Crawford took it like a G though. He said, well, I'm about to fight his comeback was I'm about to fight an elite fight on September 13th. I was like, okay. I said
yeah,
Crawford said he ain't, he's used to that argument about his resume. So
Yeah,
he came cocked and loaded. You know what I'm saying? He's like, well, that's okay. I'm about to fight an elite fighter on September 13th. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, that was a good comeback.
yeah, it
But
definitely
it
was.
was humiliating, you know what I'm saying? Because Canelo was trying to be dismissive. You know what I'm saying? He asked who the hell is who is Victor Postal? Who is Ricky Burns? And like he said, I don't no, he said he saw he said he saw a 40-year-old man drop Victor Postal in sparring. And I was like, ugh. I was like, man, Canelo trying to be on a little sneaky, you know what I'm saying, with the barbs and shit, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, for a 40-year-old man to drop Victor Postal, basically saying he ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Nothing to brag about. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, Canelo, he's a little. He tries to put on this front like he's like he's above and not petty. He's a petty motherfucker. He really
yeah, he
is.
definitely
You
is.
know what I'm saying?
Y-
He really
Yeah,
is petty. And
yeah. Like,
I just go ahead.
oh yeah, like Teddy Atlas say though. He said, but they resumes ain't fighting each other though. You know what I mean? So you gotta get in there with Bud before you saying all that, but your resume ain't fighting his resume. You gonna have to get in there. So I seen Teddy say that today on his on his podcast.
So is Canelo underestimating Bud, you think? Or do you think he like really taking it seriously? He's just putting on this front like, Crawford ain't he's got to be dismissive, you know what I'm saying, for his fans, you know what I'm saying, to give them confidence, but on the
Yeah, I think
backside, mhm.
Yeah, I think like you saying, I think he know, man. I seen him say that Crawford was better than Bivol and Mayweather. That's what he said. I don't know was he joking or not, but for him to say that, I'm like, oh wow. So that's what you really think? Then I mean, how confident are you then if you saying that? Like, you know, I seen him say that.
Well, you got to, you can't like it's a weird thing because you can't shit on your opponent, because you get no credit when you beat them,
Yeah,
right?
that's. I guess that's
You
true.
got to sell the fight. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to convince people that this guy ain't nothing, so why you fighting him? You know?
Yeah,
Um, it's like, they give him all these different well, when it comes to Canelo, it's like he creates his own pocket, his own dimension of reality, right? Because
yeah,
he can fight somebody like William Scully, but then you got David Benavidez sitting right there. Why fight all these other guys, Fielding and all these other no names, you know what I'm saying? But you say David is a no name, he hasn't fought nobody. So everybody knows it's a bunch of bullshit. You know what
right,
I'm saying? Because David is a monster, bro. We seen what David did to David Morrell Jr. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah,
Not, you know what I'm saying? Even Morrell, he fought well. He fought
yeah,
well,
he
he
did.
did his thing. But the experience. Everybody was telling him, you don't have enough fights. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got enough people, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're like you ain't got enough experience in the game. No matter how athletic you may be, you still need that experience when you're talking about fighting guys, you know what I'm saying, on the top elite level. I do think David is an elite fighter.
Yeah, I think so
You
too.
know?
But if you
Hmm.
think about it. Canelo give people chances who ain't really done nothing either. I mean, Jaime Monkey, he ain't really done nothing. He could have,
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what
he
I'm
just
saying.
signed it. But he make his fans believe what he say, like you said. They be believing this. They be believing this trash, man.
right. Anytime you argue with them, or it just comes right down to it. All they say is Canelo could do what he want to do. Canelo could do
Mhm.
what he want to do. When him and Triple G got those multi fight deals with the zone and stuff like that, it kind of set boxing back a little bit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? If you really think about it, because then they wasn't worried about the money anymore, and then they could just kind of cherry pick, you know what I'm saying, fights that wasn't dangerous for them. And
hmm
and all this stuff happened right after Ward kind of got out the game. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
After Andre Ward got out the game, that's when everything just started to, what I'm saying, all these multi-fight deals. That's when the zone kind of came in, and what I'm saying, and Eddie Hearn, what I'm saying, start bringing his ass over here and giving out all this money, and it kind of put a bubble between around Canelo and Triple G, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So because they didn't have to fight no serious fight. Everybody was waiting for Triple G to fight. He came at the end of Bernard Hopkins, you know what I'm saying? In between, he fell right into the pocket the way he didn't have to fight none of them dudes, you know what I'm saying, that was crafty enough to beat his ass, right? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Where it was just that whole division was just kind of dead. And Canelo, he waited, you know what I'm saying, before he moved up when it wasn't nobody really up there to fight.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So it's like these guys, it's like they're opportunists, is what they are. Even Bud
Mhm.
Crawford is an opportunist. You know what I'm saying? It's like, the way people always talking about the PBC did not want him to fight, did not want Bud to come over and fight. They wanted him to come over, in 2018, and they keep talking about nah. They had cross promotional fights. They only do that for certain deals. When it comes to the big money fights, they want to make sure that they get the lion's share of the money. So they're not
Yeah.
going to make fights with their biggest stars. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to get the lion's share of the money, right? How you going to get the lion's share of the money if your big star's over there at the PBC? You got to let him go for a one fight deal or something like they do Canelo. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You got to let him go. You know what I'm saying? So they wasn't about to do that with Crawford. You know what I'm
No.
saying? So they keep talking about, it's just an excuse, just an excuse. No, bro, you know how it works. He
Yeah.
went back and he could have went over to the PVC and fought a couple of fights to see how it went. Went and knocked out some of them guys. I be having this argument over and over again. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the Bud buddies, you know, the Bud buddies. You know what I'm saying? They just know that segment of the history. You know, and we go back and forth about that shit. It's like, bro, we were sitting right there when that shit happened. But he waited to the end. He didn't have to fight none of those dudes, Danny Garcias, the Ugases. Those guys will take fights out of you. Those are the type of fights that take chunks of blood, sweat, and tears out of you. You saw the fight with Errol Jr. and Ugas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those kind of fights, that was a tough ass fight for Errol. You know what I'm saying? He was getting his body destroyed. Sean Porter. You know what I'm saying? Kell Brook, all those fights, those was tough fights for him. Bud didn't have to go through none of that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to go through none of that. He just waited to the end and beat Earl. You know what I'm saying? And on a lighter note though, Earl is coming back. Did you see that?
Yeah. I seen him train. I seen him training.
Yeah, but I wonder who he got in mind, or where he's going to land. Is he going to land at 160, or is he going to land at 154? I know he's done with 147. I would not
Yeah.
want to see him.
I seen
It's
Charlo trying to call him out. So do you think that's a real fight or he just talking?
it's a real fight. It's
Oh,
a
so you
real
think him
fight.
and Charlo will fight for real? I like to see that.
I think I think they would. I think they would. What's going on, SJ Boxing IQ? What's going on, Rama and Emily Jones? The 300 coming into the building. You know, yeah, I think that's a viable option for him right now because Charlo is just looking for fights that's probably going to generate big money, and I think if they had that fight in Texas at the AT&T, that what is it, the AT&T Stadium in Dallas, man, man, that
Yeah, that'd be
fight would blow the
that
man.
that'd be a
Even if you add, let's say you put it on a virtual T card because yeah, I think they still could carry their own card. You know what I'm saying?
I
Because
think they can carry their own card because it's a big comeback fight for both of them. So I think that'll
yeah,
be a good fight. The
and
PBC
put Virgil
should go
Ortiz
ahead and
on
do
that.
that.
And I know Virgil probably would want his own card though. You know what I'm saying? Um, but if Virgil Ortiz, man, look here, man, Texas,
Yeah,
man, they
I
they
seen
would do.
some Virgil Ortiz say he signed the paperwork to fight Boots, but I don't know how. That's what he said on the interview. He just did one like the other day or something. So
Who said that?
that's what Virgil Ortiz said. Yep.
Well,
I just,
he's been in the damn saying that Boots
yeah,
turned down the fight, and I was like, that was news to me because I was still kind of out with boxing at the time. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody wasn't fighting. Then I seen a couple of fights with Virgil Ortiz and Boca Chuck
yeah,
and
I
what's
seen
the
that.
other Madronov. That brought me back in. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, those fights were off the chain. They was off the chain. So if Boots get up in the 154, that's going to raise the stock of the whole division right there. I know people say, man, why didn't he just go straight to Virgil Ortiz? Well, right now, Virgil Ortiz is in a zone, man. He is definitely in the zone right now. And you want Boots to take a tune up. We saw what happened to Errol Spence Jr. when he didn't take a tune up. You know, um, he ain't been fighting in a while. I don't know how long Boots been out the ring, right? But it's time for him. He got to take a tune up, bro. Especially if you're talking about jumping. When you're talking about jumping weight divisions and them guys
He
hit
he
hard.
fought Stanionis. I thought it was like in April, wasn't it, or
Was it in
something like that?
April?
April or
Was it?
March? One.
Was
It
it
was
in?
probably
Was it in
April, wasn't it?
I can't remember. But still, you know what I'm saying? It's like that was at 147. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna jump up to 154, you know what I'm saying? You want to test the waters. That's all I'm saying. So you can acclimate yourself.
Yeah,
Um,
but Virgil Ortiz did an interview yesterday.
mhm.
He said the fight signed. That's what he said with him and Boots. That's what he said.
Well, they could dispel all the rumors that
Yeah,
he's scared to fight Virgil Ortiz. Now, you know what I'm saying? I think this what's his name? Yusuf guy that he's gonna fight here that's from Ghana. You know what I'm saying? I think that's just gonna test the waters. That's just gonna, see where Boots is at 154. Because Crawford had a little bit of trouble. He had a little bit of trouble now with Israel Madrinov now. Had a little bit of trouble. I thought Crawford won the fight. But he had that's a jump from 147. That's what it looked like to 154. When you fighting somebody that's active and you fighting somebody that can punch, you know what I'm saying? That's what it looks like. So I'm glad, I'm really happy that Jerron Busen is taking a tune up. I just wish he would have fought uh, somebody a little bit more like maybe a Erickson Lubin or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a Xander or somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? I think, somebody with a little bit more name cachet. Um, but you know what I'm saying? This'll do. This'll do. Let's see where Boots at in the division. If he goes out there and look good, you know what I'm saying? Next we'll be expecting to see that Ortiz fight.
yeah, that's
Um,
what he do.
Man, that's gonna be off the chain, man.
Yeah, that'd be his real first test, man. For me, you know what I mean?
Well, I thought Villa was a bad motherfucker, boy. Y'all ain't see that Villa fight,
Yeah,
bruh. Y'all ain't see that Villa fight. I mean, nobody didn't know who Villa was, but Villa was a hard. That was a hard dude, man. That dude had power. That dude had willpower. All that. Boots broke him down, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just like people be talking that shit about Boots, but I was like, Boots got heart, bro. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Herschel? What's happening, bro?
Oh no, man, nothing, man. As far as Ennis, I wish Ennis would have got a chance to, fight a Sean Porter or Danny Garcia, maybe even Keith Thurman. I wish he would have got a chance to see that to really measure where he at. I mean, I think great fighter, of course, but I kind of wish he would have, been able to mix it up with them. But it seems like they've been ducking. Well, they wasn't trying to never fight him, so that is what it is.
Well, Sean said, Sean, he was already thinking about broadcasting at the time.
Mhm.
You could see, once them guys, that was like a golden age of welterweight right there. And once they fought each other, you saw what happened to Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying? You saw what happened to Kell Brook. You saw what happened
Mhm.
to Errol Spence Jr. They just kind of wore each other out. You know what I'm saying? Kell
They
Brook
did.
moving up to fight Triple G, just doing stupid shit. Um,
They did. They did.
Sean Porter fought Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman fought Sean Porter. Danny Garcia fought Sean Porter. They were just going at it. You know what I'm saying? And they were just, wearing each other down. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like those Buddy McGriff fights, you know what I'm saying, with Simon Brown and you know what I'm saying, all those guys were fighting each other. The guys that on the outside that preserved themselves, while they killing each other in the ring, they taking fights out of each other. You know, the person that's smart conserves himself like Crawford did. You know, he didn't have all that wear and tear and shit. You know what I'm saying? Them boys they just beat each other down. You know what I'm saying? Over at the PBC. Um,
Well, what do you think about Jamel Charlo trying to maybe fight Errol and throwing the shots? What you think that's about now? Why you want to do that now? Before, when Errol was healthy, you didn't want none of that.
well, I think he wants the. I think he wants the glory over
Yeah, he
Errol
want the
Spence Jr.
name, he
for
want
one.
the attention.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he wanna show everybody that he's the top dog in Texas. You know what I'm saying? He's the Texas top dog.
Well,
And
go fight or tick. That's my thing. If that was your man's, that was your man's. Now all of a sudden, you see, I know what it is. I think we all know what it. You smell weakness, which is cowardly of you, but it is what it is.
yeah, but all fighters today, all
Mm-hmm.
fighters are like that. I kind of used to like Nigel Benn, fighters like that because he wanted to fight Roy Jones Jr. and he admitted that Roy Jones Jr. you know brought a lot of fear. You know what I'm saying, in his heart. That's why he wanted to fight Roy because he didn't know if he could beat him or not.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the kind of shit I'm talking about. That's what I love about the old boxing, old boxing. They wanted to challenge. These guys, they don't want to come at you unless they see, you kind of slipping or something. Like, you go in there and you get your ass knocked down or something like that, then they don't even want to like really engage and like that. You know what I'm saying? Unless they see you kind of not on top of your shit. Like look at Canelo. You know what I'm saying? People want to fight Canelo because they think he looked weak. You know, he didn't look that good his last fight. You know
He
what I'm saying?
did.
So now
He did.
he looked like food. He looked like
But,
food to
but
everybody.
that Canelo shit is the trap though, because what Canelo do is Canelo pick and choose his fights. He pick and choose how he gonna come in with his Mexican meat, and then you know when he see somebody, when he sees the opportunity, he take it. Canelo, that's not somebody I would want to play that game with. Like, but niggas gonna be niggas.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. That is true.
I get it.
So.
Like I get it. Like I get it. This is a war to a degree. Chess pieces,
Mhm.
different networks. Different promoters. So you want to make the best out of this situation, most definitely. But y'all, and as much as we be like, we want people to fight for the fans. If they do beat the brain cells out of each other and their money don't go right, it's not like the fans gonna care. So we get that part. But it's also as much maneuvering as y'all do, and as much as y'all teams be protecting y'all and setting y'all up, y'all can every once in a while get a fan something they want.
But you got to think too. It makes sense for Jamel to
Mm-hmm.
want to fight Errol Spence Jr. How else you going to bring your name back? You know what I'm saying? And then even if you lose, you don't really lose a lot of standing because if Errol Spence Jr. lose to Jamel Charlo, he was the undisputed champion at 154. You know what I'm saying? And what they call him, he's a lineal right now because
Mm-hmm.
nobody really beat him. You know what I'm saying at that weight class. So
That's
if
true. That's true. But
so.
the thing
Mhm.
about that pool, and I'm sorry to cut you off, is there's a lot of dudes on the 154. Like my thing with Jamel, I love Jamel. I'm from Houston. We kind of like what he's doing, except for the Canelo situation. You've been gone for 2 years. Don't nobody know why. Right now, maybe it's because you got injured or something after the Canelo fight. I don't know. Maybe that was part of the stipulations of the contract. First of all, you're supposed to fight Tenzu. I don't like that you let the other dude come in here and knock the fuck out because he was food. I really felt like he was food for the whole
Mhm.
division. It's like, yo, well, you got to get him. Me personally, I see him the way he just come in there and take punches right in the jaw. I would have been, oh yeah, I got him. First you let him, then Fondor, right? Well, you got both of them. Then you got the other guy you was talking about that don't nobody want to face the boogeyman. Then you got Virgil Ortiz. Now you got Jared Ennis. If you trying to come back, you know what I'm saying? These are the fights you come back and get. You wanting to fight Arrow, that's one of those, well, I see weakness. And like you said, if I lose or win, it is what it is. And that's cowardly. And the whole thing with that is you always talk about lions, this, lions only, this is that, blah, blah, blah. Y'all, people already think y'all got weird ass personalities and y'all be doing weird shit. So it's like it don't, you know what I mean? It don't help in a degree. Now, granted, everybody want to see the fight, But it's just like I'm not really feeling that. The moves that y'all been making, them Texas boys, even with Earl to a degree, like to come into the fight with the way Terrence kind of set him up just because, oh, I want to fight him. I'm not tripping. I'll do anything to take the fight. Whoa, don't put yourself at a handicap like that. Because when you lose, look how they do you.
Yeah,
Now you
but
got people. Mhm.
that's the risk. That's the risk you take. You know what I'm saying? When you let people get into the driver's seat. See, the problem with Errol Spence Jr. He's just way too authentic and genuine. And he went in there, tried to make the fight. He told the fans that he wasn't gonna move up, until he fight Terence Crawford, and that put Crawford in the driver's seat because now, what I'm saying, he had leverage. What I'm saying, that he had to get the fight. What I'm
Mhm.
saying, and the fans were holding Errol to that. What I'm saying, with Jamel Charlo, he don't have none of those kind of expectations. He could do what the hell he want to do. What I'm saying, he got all the pressure up off of him. After when he went up here, I think when you move up weight classes, you're trying to escape.
Mm.
Just like when you kill Brook, he went to escape all that pressure that was down there at 147. He saw that division building up with all that talent. So let me go fight Triple G. What I'm saying? So if I get hurt up here, now I got a built-in excuse. It's the same with Jamel Charlo. I forgot what that Russian name was, Bektamir something.
Mhm.
That was, he paid him a couple of times to hold off from fighting. I think he moved up to like 168. I think he moved up to 168 or something like that. But he was behind Charlo for a long time
Mhm.
to fight him, and Charlo just kept paying him so he can fight Castano, so he can get the belts and stuff. And so he did that. As soon as he was supposed to fight that guy, he moved up to fight Canelo. He got the Canelo fight, right? So when you moving up like this, it's kind of an escape. I don't think that in Terence Crawford case. I think they just getting the sweepstakes. Canelo is kind of like the sweepstakes for going through the fire. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people are talking about how Jamel Charlo, his run was easy. Hell no, his run was not easy, bro. You know what I'm saying? His run was not easy, but he got a big payday, what I'm saying, at the end because Castano gave Jamel hell. He gave
Mhm.
Jamel hell, bro.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And so they escaped the rest of it, but then the division started building up with these wood choppers and stuff that was going to give Jamil a hard time. You know what I'm saying? So he moved the fight because finally got the Canelo fight. That was an escape. You know what I'm saying? To move up and get a big payday, and he got to chill for 2 years. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Errol Spence Jr. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, what I'm saying, he had to heal his body because I think he had done overextended himself from what he was had done been through. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And he went in there,
Mhm.
he took a beating. I think he took a beating and he got the biggest payday of his career and he went and chilled for 2 years. Now, it would make sense to see these Texas boys because they haven't been fighting in a while. They don't have the same cachet. But I do believe if Aerosmith Jr. would sell out any arena right now today in Texas, and Jamel Charlo to have them two, they already know that's a gangster party right there. That's going to
Mhm.
bring in big bucks for them. And and this way they don't have to fight separate opponents and risk getting their ass whipped. Because if Spence ain't ready, you know what I'm saying? And he enters 154 fighting a Fedora, what I'm saying, fighting a Madronov, fighting a Boca Chuck, and he ain't ready. It could diminish, it could hurt his career, it could hurt him. You know what I'm saying? If Charlo comes back, fight the same guys, it could hurt his career, right? It's going to
Mhm.
drop him down in the people's eyes. So why not have the two superstars, what I'm saying, that people still, where they do have the cachet here in the Texas is going to sell out. You know what I'm saying? They can, what they say, iron sharpen iron. They are
Mhm.
already familiar with each other because they done sparred, what I'm saying, a million times with each other. It's a safe fight. It's almost like it's a safe fight, what I'm saying, as far as their reputations go. And it's a fight that people would be willing to pay for to see. Houston versus Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Earl from Dallas, you know what I'm saying? Jamil from Houston,
Mhm.
by way of Louisiana, somewhere in Louisiana, when they
Mhm.
were kids or something. But that would be the clash that brings Texas back into the game. Iron sharpening iron. That's what they should call it. And I think that makes sense for them instead of losing to maybe Fundora because they're not ready. Yeah, make that happen. I mean, I don't know how many more fights that's inside of Errol Spence Jr. or Jamel Charlo, but I do think that's a big money fight that they can, they can make that money grab uh, that captured imagination. You know what I'm saying? I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense. Yeah, I think yeah. Lucky upset. Charlo did go through the fire at 157. Banana before Banana, um, you found out that his stomach, he ain't got no kind of stomach punch resistance. I thought that was fascinating because he could hit hard. That boy, that was a hard hitting ass dude. And then Charlo hit him in the Jamel hit him in the damn stomach, and from there on, people start just hitting him in the midsection, and it was kind of like his Achilles heel was his midsection. I was like, God damn! I was like, he got all this power. You know what I'm saying? I think he had the WBO. I think he had WBO and the WBA. I think.
Mhm.
And I was, damn, you go in there, you just hit him in the midsection. You know what I'm saying? And he just goes down. I was like, what the hell happened to this guy? He just, you know what I'm saying? He just crumbled. You know, once everybody figured out that that was his weak point, it was over for Banana. You know, but yeah, that was the hardest. I think that was the hardest drive for undisputed at the time, Jamel Charlo. And he showed some skills. He showed some grit, and that's why when he went to fight Canelo, I thought Canelo was in trouble, man. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit, just a little bit. But he went in there, not training. You saw the after fight where he's going home and stuff in between camps, and I said this man is not acting like a dude that's trying to win against Canelo. He wasn't talking his shit to Canelo. He was very respectful, and we know how Jamel Charlo get down in a conversation. So he just didn't have the same energy, and that let me down a whole lot. But Crawford, I like the energy that Crawford is bringing. I like that. I like this energy that he's bringing. He's the same old Crawford. He ain't switched up. Same, bully type of thing. You know what I'm saying? And I like this energy that he's bringing to Canelo. You know, I think he means every damn bit of it too. I think he
Mhm.
means every bit of. But as far as Earl and Jamel, they need each other right now. As a matter of fact, I would say, they might as well go ahead and get that money. You know what I'm saying? And go and retire, whatever they're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and get that money. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't need too many more fights. You know what I'm saying? When you've been killing yourself to make 154 and 147 for over 10 years, right?
Mhm.
You already done destroyed yourself. You know what I'm saying? Trying to stay because these are grown ass men that weigh the size of high school, kids. You know what I'm saying? It's like I couldn't even tell you the last time I wore 147 pounds. I couldn't even tell you the last time I weighed 154 pounds, and they did that shit while competing for over 10 years. So man, that's a lot. That's a lot on your body. So, I mean, especially you in your 30s now. Um, yeah, I think they should go ahead and get that on, man. But I'm gonna tell you a fight that I'm gonna be interested in is that Fulton Oshaki Foster fight. Yeah, that's gonna be off the chain, man. Um, Oshaki Foster, I think at 130, and Fulton, man, I forgot what card. I think they're on the Keith Thurman card. I think they on that Keith Thurman card. Um, if that fight, if that fight come about, because we know how Keith Thurman do. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big jump for Keith Thurman. Now Keith Thurman, he can fight. He can fight, but there's a couple of guys he's supposed to have fight and never got to, and that was the Rambo Sentence for the PBC when they took that long break and they had got with Amazon Prime. That was supposed to be the opening fight, and then that didn't happen, and so then they had Keith Thurman versus Tim Tszyu. We supposed to have happen, and that never happened. So now here we go. Now here we go with Fundora. Now here we go with Fundora. They saying that this fight's supposed to happen. They got the card, everything. I got to see it to believe it. You know what I'm saying? I got to see it to believe it. You know, I mean, I don't know what Keith Thurman got left, but I know Fundora is a dog. I know Keith Thurman. I know Keith Thurman. Say what? Keith Thurman used to be a dog. You know, he used to be a dog. He definitely got skills. He definitely still got skills, but how much he got left? How much of that dog when he fought Sean Porter and Danny Garcia? How much of that he got left in him? I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I'm rooting for him. I mean, I will always root for the old dogs from the PBC. Um, I think he still can go out there and do some damage. But right now, Fedora is in a zone. He's a champion. You know what I'm saying? He got shit to lose. Um, if Keith Thurman gonna go out there and beat him, he's gonna have y'all. Somebody got to mute this shit. Somebody got pots and pans going on in the background. Um, I think if Keith Thurman gonna win this, he's gonna have to tap into them days when he fought the Sean Porters and the Danny Garcias. He's gonna have to tap into that. You know what I'm saying? Bring that shit to 154. Then he's jumping up to 154. So it's gonna be an interesting fight. And you know, O'Shaquie Foster, you know what I'm saying, and Fulton, that's gonna be an even battle right there. Even though I think Fulton got he's the more polished fighter. He's the more polished dude, I think. You know, even though Shaq Foster, he ain't no slouch either now. You know what I'm saying? But when it's come to Fulton and the Philly, the whole Philly situation, you know what I'm saying? I kind of like that. I kind of like Fulton in this fight. You know what I'm saying? What you think, Hirsch? What you think, Dale?
What's going on, Paul? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on, Dale? A long
I'm
time no
chilling,
see, my
man.
brother.
I know, man. I'm glad you back, man. I'm glad the
Yes,
real boxing
sir.
voice on YouTube.
Yes,
Man,
sir. You know
I
how
think,
we do, but
man,
go
I
ahead.
think it's a good fight. I think I'll edge Fulton in that fight. He is moving up, but I think Fulton takes that fight, decision, split decision, maybe. But I wanted to comment on what you was talking about earlier, Pool.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you on another live the other day, and some guys was arguing about sort of what you talked about, you know, when there was smoke at 47 and kind of how the welterweight landscape was on the PBC side. I think people underrate that era, man. I mean, when you had Thurman, Garcia, I think Broner was still a little bit active at the time. You had Josecito Lopez as a journeyman,
Yeah.
Ugas,
Mm-hmm.
Pacquiao. And so I
Mm-hmm.
kind of agree with you when you say that. Like, I wish Bud was able to kind of get in the mix with those guys in their peak. I think it would have done him a more of a service to bring his status up as one of the best fighters. His marketability, his pay. Um, so yeah, man, I kind of agree with you on that, man. I remember when Bud was going through like Benavidez and Amir Khan and Mean Machine. And I was always like, God damn, man, I want to see you in there with somebody else. And he
But
only
you, but
fought
you,
once a year. So every
but you
year
let
you had
them
to
tell it,
wait.
Dave. You let
I
them
was,
tell it. Everybody was ducking Bud. It's like Bud wasn't nowhere around. You
yeah,
know what I'm
man. I
saying?
was a big, and I bought all his
Niggas wasn't
fights.
worried about him at
I,
all.
yeah, I bought his fights, man. The only fight I didn't buy was that Amir Khan shit because I knew what he
Same
was going
here.
to do to
Same
him.
here.
You
Same
know,
here.
so
I brought the Miracle fight. Mm-hmm.
I was like, we knew what he was going to do to him. So,
Yeah, that nigga still had about 6 people watching that shit. He still had
yeah,
about 6 people watching that shit. That nigga, and the crazy thing is, if he would have went to the PBC, he would have been a humongous
he
star.
would have been a huge star. A
But they
huge
saying,
star.
but when you tell Bud fans that, oh, the PBC wasn't gonna let him fight them guys, and I said, I just gotta stop. What I'm saying, so that, you would have a stroke talking to Bud fans about that shit, because they just don't believe that shit. They just think everybody duck Bud. You know what I'm saying? It's like them guys were killing each other. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, why would they duck Bud? He's just another fighter. Now,
Here's the funny thing about that, Pool, and the other brother, I'm sorry if I remember your name. Who's the
Yeah,
dude that was over who's the Bob Arum? Bob Arum was like, yo, we tried to line the fights up. He didn't want them.
Yeah, he
right,
did say that. I forgot all. See, it's been so
right.
long since I've been arguing this shit. You know what I'm saying? But y'all, you remember, you were there when we used to be screaming about this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We used to be going back and forth about this shit. We used to be, woo, man, meet me outside type shit.
You make a good point. Remember Bob with the whole Pacquiao situation? That was Crawford's fight before Pacquiao made the signing with Spence. Remember, Bud was supposed to fight Pacquiao, and
Yeah,
Bomac and his
yeah.
team didn't accept that offer for whatever reason. I'm not sure what the reason was, but they didn't accept that offer, so Pacquiao made the fight with Spence. And
And
to
it's
me,
weird
that would have
how
been Spence's breakout fight, man. If there was any fight I wish he would have pushed through, it wouldn't have been the Crawford fight. It would have been that Pacquiao fight. Because
Mm.
if he would have beat the brakes off Pacquiao, that would have
but
took his status to who knows. Because Pacquiao had just got a dub off Thurman. Pacquiao was still kind of fresh back then.
but
Um,
this how you know that Errol Spence Jr. either he broke a mirror or he got some kind of roots on him because he got into the car accident for one thing. Then he got
Mm-hmm.
in the spot. He got the Pacquiao fight, you know what I'm saying, through Crawford dropping the ball, you know what I'm saying, which was a blessing. But then he gets hurt in sparring. You know what I'm saying? Got an eye injury or he had some kind of cataracts. And I said, what is going on with this kid? He got the baddest luck I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? It's just like he get hurt in sparring all the time. I said, what the hell are they doing in sparring? What is he's got a
Yeah,
weird relationship
I agree.
with Derek James.
yeah.
Um, I'm talking about like all these years you've been with this coach. Now I
Mm-hmm.
understand being professional, but
Mm-hmm.
at some point in time, once you work through a lot of things, you become more than coach and fighter.
Mm-hmm.
They never did, bro. They never did. I never understood. Like, because you can never peel back the layers to what their relationship was like. But they said they would
Well,
sit there and eat and they wouldn't even say shit to each other.
but wasn't it the whole thing? Other two pool like Blu-ray. Blu-ray was the strength trainer. He got rid of
Mhm.
him right after quote unquote fight. That's what it is, man. Don't nobody want to say it, but we gotta say it.
I'm
Earl
on with it.
Earl was. I'm from Houston. My cousin's in Dallas, right? My cousins.
Hmm.
He was in them streets. He's a rapper. He does his thing. He's like, man, every time I'm out, I see Earl. He's like, but he ain't just drunk. We gotta roll him out the club drunk.
Mm,
He just like, yo,
mm.
he's like, it ain't no problem with getting wasted, but he's like, yo, bro, he out here getting crazy, like knocked out, wasted. And then the whole accident, they say the accident thing was him trying to duck off from a shooting from Rainwater and Mo 3 and that whole situation. So let's just say what it is, man. Earl has a fighter's mentality in and out the ring. My cousin tell me stories of him being from DeSoto or something like someplace in Dallas
Yeah,
where
yeah.
they fighting and knocking dudes out, whatever. Earl did too much shenanigans in them streets, man. That's just what it was. And it sucks. But we just gotta call it like it is. Couldn't stay out them streets and out that bullshit, man.
But you
That's
know what's
that's
And
what
crazy
it is.
about that though is that he was early in his career. He was a motherfucking gym rat. I'm from Houston too, so
Mhm.
like I heard stories about this motherfucker just running miles all across Dallas. Man, they said he was always in shape, always in the gym. So there was something that happened, as he rose in his career because he was just like Crawford in his younger days. He was
It
always in
will.
the motherfucking gym.
well,
So something
just
had
like
happened.
just Mo 3 his music started popping. And what I'm saying, if he's when you start getting in with entertainers and start hanging out, and Mo 3 had all that beef going on with the other guy. And I think he was the friend of the other guy.
Yeah, with Yellow
Uh
Beezy, he was cool with
yeah,
Yellow Beezy and them and Trap Boy
yeah.
Freddy and
And
all.
so I think that brought a lot of heat on him. He got distracted between hanging out with Yellow Beezy, and drinking and partying and the girls and Dallas. Because I was living in Dallas during that time. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? I'm in Houston now.
Okay.
Uh, but I was living in Dallas during that time, and I was trying to catch Earl. You know, I even went to the little gym that he used to work out at.
Mm-hmm.
I used to try to catch Earl, but they had just moved to the new location. You know what I'm saying? I used to always go to that just so I could get some live footage. And I had just started my channel back then. You know what I'm saying? I was, trying to get it all together. And I said, let me get some interviews with EJ. Now, I used to always try to catch him, but I could never catch him, man. I could never catch him in the gym. Of course, he had been going through, the transition of going to a new gym and, Derek trying to get set up and, with his new business and, Earl is in the street somewhere, you know what I'm saying? But I used to live in DeSoto, you know what I'm saying? But I think Earl had just got the hell up out of there.
The plan for Al Heyman and Earl back then was Pacquiao, unify with Pacquiao, right? That would have been 3 belts right there. Fight Crawford for undisputed, then move up to 60 for Canelo for a Dallas showdown at the AT&T Stadium. That was always the plan.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
that was a
right.
3-fight plan. Yeah, that was the plan. It was Pacquiao, Crawford, move up to 160 to meet Canelo because
you
kind of cut out. But but you got to stay focused. That's one thing you got to give Terence Crawford. He stays focused. He stays close to the gym. He carries that gym on his back. That's one thing. He stays in shape. The person that prepares the best is the one who's going to win. You got to do the logistics. Got to stay away from the booze. You got to stay away from the women. You got to stay away from the stress on the outside. You know what I'm saying? You got to stay close to the craft.
And the other part of that pool, it's 2 other parts there too. The LDBC, I ain't trying to start nothing, but
what about the LDBC, man?
So this is my thing about it, right? I think that they brothers is trying to fight for something to a degree because it is a very toxic boxing culture towards melanated people. We know that for sure. But I think that they had a way of encapsulating them fighters to think that they're bigger than what they are and not have them be focused on what they should be focused. It's like they don't call out shit. But with other fighters, they love to call out all types of shit. But when it comes to the 2, and I ain't gonna say, we all know when it came to them 2, in the Fury situation and the harder, I just felt like they just was barking up the wrong tree and they were saying the wrong shit. And they created an environment that wasn't that healthy for the boxer because they not keeping it real.
Right.
They wasn't keeping it real, just to keep it 100. Like even with the not to get on her too much because I like Wilder, but the costume and then you girl before and I got drugged, which I believe. But if that's the case, why are y'all sitting there telling this man? Why are y'all sitting up here creating an environment to where he don't understand it's a war? And then when the shit happened, y'all sitting over there, oh yeah, no, y'all created this monster because y'all didn't keep it 100.
Well, I think, that's the problem with getting access. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't criticize black people. Because that's like me and you talking. Let's say you got a channel, and I say, man, your channel pretty good, man, but you know what I'm saying, you be on some bullshit sometime, and you need to tighten up here and there. You be like, and you gonna feel some kind of way. So you can't really have access to these guys and criticize them at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna take that shit personally. And I think when 78 got the access to Wilder, I'm pretty sure you're not gonna be 100%. You know what I'm saying? Like what you really think, because at the time Wilder was just cracking niggas up out of there, man, and he got froze out during this. He was already an older fighter. So all they had to do was freeze him out. I saw what the plan was, to freeze him out and let him get older. AJ, you know what I'm saying? At the time when he could have fought AJ, the whole plan was to freeze Wilder out and let him get older because AJ wasn't having no parts of trying to fight Wilder. He even banned them from the goddamn I think it was Andy Ruiz fight.
Yeah, the Andy Ruiz fight. I remember that. Yeah, he was scared.
Yeah, he didn't even want security to let that nigga in the building. I was like, oh my God, bro, are you serious? You're just big of a pussy.
But I'm kind of mad at Wilder for that too. I would have stopped the minute I seen old dude was pussy. I would have stopped following him a long time ago, and I would have just beat up everybody around him, and then made it to where he had to come to me, which I think he tried to do.
But that's what I mean by the elder. You know, all them guys got different personalities. It's not just one entity, even though they are under. Everybody's different. You know what I'm saying? Best fight the best. You know what I'm saying? You see, you know, he got his personality. You know, 78. You know what I'm saying? They all got you know. So you can't just say it's just one. They was like the Three Musketeers. You know, all for one, one for all type shit. You know
no, it was a conglomerate.
Yeah,
dudes running up on dudes, talking crazy, saying, you know, they was a conglomerate.
Well, you know, black people can't get along, even on the inside. You see, everybody was hating on each other. You know what I'm saying? You know, certain personalities don't like other personalities. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. You know, I just happen to be an older guy and stay out of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, you know, I'm an older dude. You know, I go way back before the LDBC. You know, I was on YouTube before the LDBC. You know what I'm saying? They was
they came during the Floyd Pacquiao era.
I think they were Doghouse. No, they was Lion Den Boxing before they became the LDBC. And you know, I used to listen to all those debates back then and how people used to be going at each other. But you know, it was good for boxing because on the internet it wasn't nothing but a bunch of racist talk and you know, and I think they opened things up so black people had, you know, have a voice in boxing. Because
I mean, they were. I like it. They were very well needed, but I feel like for them two in particular, it's the way they handled them situations and the way how people just start, you know, going out of their way to try to chest out. Look, I get it. You know, my theory is you can't put more than 5 niggas in a room before it turns into some nigga shit. That's just what it is. That's just what it's gonna be.
Yeah, yeah, and you're gonna have to be a shout. You got to. I don't like shouting over people. I don't like cussing people out, but you know, I mean, you gotta, you know, people come on. I mean, you just get different personalities that come on here and think they can, you know, dominate and all kind of stuff. Some people just want to make a name for their channel and all kind of stuff like that. I'm beyond all. I done been through all that, bro. I done been there, and I'm tired. You know, every now and then you get somebody that, and that's what it was over there. It was like a competition. You know what I'm saying? That who can shine the brightest. You know, instead of having unity and having organization, you know, it was just about, you know, who could be the biggest star type stuff. You had Black Fight Fan, you know, I like trail boxing. I really enjoyed trail boxing.
You better than me. I wasn't a fan of it because I felt like he'd be clout.
But look what they did. Look what they did though. Even if you didn't like the way they you know, some of the stuff they were saying, it was almost like a news network. You see what I'm saying? It was like a boxing news network. I like how they set it up and everything. And you know, they had their own little brand. You know, they had their own brand. I mean, I think more black people should look at that, and that was a successful model. But you know, we all grown people and we all got our own things going on in our personal lives, you know. So, you know, unless you backed by a corporate sponsor and getting paid big money, you can't really make this your job. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you could get some kind of backing, you know what I'm saying, and some sponsors and things like that, you could keep it going. But you know, I could see them guys, they all had, you know, their own lives to lead. I think, you know, Black Fight Fan could have did a lot more with what he had going on. You know, but they just, you know, you can't keep grown people together for so long, you know, before life start taking you apart. And I just saw that happen, you know, saying at the at trail boxing and stuff like that. People just wanted to do different things, you know, and you know, ain't nothing wrong with that. Well, I forgot what was the light skinned chick. I forgot what her name was. She got her own channel that was on there all the time.
Oh yeah, she turned into her stories and all that. I know you're talking about.
So you know, it ran its course. Everything runs its course, you know. But I still listen to 78. I still listen. I think he's funny. I think it's funny as hell. You know what I'm saying? I still listen to 78.
I like 78. I think. I think 78.
Yeah, I listen to. You know, I listen to everybody. mostly that's really good. Just do boxing. What's going on? PGH. Oh damn, PGH. Big dog. What's happening, bro? You know what I'm saying? Retro gamer in the building, but my 300 showing up tonight. So yeah, man, you're right. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the organization. It's just the egos. You got to have a strong personality to handle the egos. And it was a lot of back snitching and a lot of backstabbing going on over there and stuff. It was just like, you don't even need that. A lot of hating on each other and stuff. Same stuff that happened in the Black Panthers. The same stuff that happened anytime black people try to organize something. You know what I'm saying? It's just
So is that
just
a people thing, or is that you think a black people thing? Is that a people thing, or is that a black people thing?
I can't say if it's it could be a people thing, you know what I'm saying? But I just know the people that I pay attention to,
Mhm.
which is black people. You know what I'm saying? We tend to want to take over. You want to. Everybody wants to be a chief. Nobody wants to be an Indian. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to be a follower. Everybody wants to be leaders, and that causes a lot of animosity towards each other. Criticism. People gonna criticize you harshly, and that leads to bruised egos, which leads to getting away from boxing. I said, these are boxing channels. These are boxing channels going to war. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, you're supposed to be talking about boxing, not about, destroying each other's reputations and stuff like that, or trying to dig up dirt on people and trying to dox people where they live and all this kind of stuff. So,
I remember
just
when
getting
Fred got smacked up by Sean Porter dad. That was crazy. That
who
was
you said?
with Fred, the barbershop conversation, where he got
Oh
smacked up
yeah.
by Sean Porter
Man,
dad.
Fred was out of control, man.
That's
And
what I'm
Fred
saying.
was a
He was the one to me that really just took, because he was just him and Blue Blood. They tag team of chaos.
I don't know what the hell happened to Blue Blood, man. He was so humble. Him, Fanon, they were humble as hell, bro. And I don't know what the hell. When Fanon got to deal with Black Prime, I was so happy for him. And then his ego it's like he just turned into a whole different person. Um, even Fanon was more humble, and then he went through the whole ego thing where he turned into like a supervillain.
Yeah, I like Fanon before he started wilding. I don't know. That's my boy.
They
I
don't
don't.
know that a lot of these people don't. I don't know. Let me look in the chat. I don't know if they all know the history of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Fanon, Fanon went crazy. Fanon was like, nobody smarter than me type shit. Y'all all dumb. And I was like, man, what is going on? This boxing stuff, this social media stuff is like turning people out. I guess the fame of it, once people start clicking on your channel and once people start listening to you, you get the big heads, you start getting a little notoriety and everything. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say, I never like worry about that kind of stuff, because it's all about the boxing for me. I could talk to other guys. I learn from other guys, as we talk this boxing stuff, man. That's what it's all about. It ain't about getting fame. I never want to be famous. You know what I'm saying? I just like talking to guys about the fights,
Yeah,
And I think
yeah.
as long as you keep it like that, now when you try to make it a business, and you got time to sit down and like really organize, like KO, who else I would consider Just Do too. Just Do them blew up too. I'm happy for them guys.
What about Boxing Ego? Is you a fan of him?
Yeah, Boxing Eagle, he breaks down shit really good. You could tell guys who's doing this full time.
I'm telling you.
Because
Remember what's the dude Ness?
I
Elliot
don't like
Ness.
this. I don't like he even though he was a truck driver like me,
Mhm.
and he came from the truck driver and he built it. He's a sensationalist, to me. He
Mhm.
sensationalized everything. He's a drama queen.
Mhm.
He was pissed with the PBC ever since they kicked his ass up out of Aerosmith Junior Camp. He hate the PBC. You know what I'm saying? And it's like not that it's all about being on the side of the PBC, but it's just that he's biased as hell when it comes to stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? He can't hide his bias. He's toxic as hell. You could tell there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes with
It
Ness.
ended up. Didn't they end up finding out he was a snitch or something like that? He was doing some
Yeah,
shit.
that he took people money type stuff. You know, like some people, like my co-host that used to be on here. You know, he said shit. He said he sent them for some boxing gloves or something. It's something. Next beat him out some damn signed boxing glove by one of the fighters.
Mhm.
And I was like, man, that's just a snake, man, just a snake. You know, just a used car salesman that could talk shit. You know what I'm saying, for a living. But I rarely listen to. They got some good information. Don't get me wrong, but
Mhm.
it's the way he put it out there. He put it out there in a real biased way. Um, and you know what I'm saying. You know, it's just I don't like his style at all. You know, he just seemed like a weasel, seemed like a snake. The way he talk about people and stuff. You know, the way he try to disseminate the information. You know, it's always skewed and everything. So you know, not that you know, it's just real toxic the way he does it. You know, and he talk a lot of shit. You know, it's like I'm surprised. I'm surprised he could walk around. You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised the way he talks shit. You know, but you know, I mean, he got a successful channel, and I give him credit for that. I give him credit for that. You know, he got a
Uh,
lot of people that tune in.
I'm trying to think. It was a what's the dude from Philly? TS Boxing. I can't remember his name.
I don't remember all of them. Everybody had their little spot in the sunlight at one point in time when they were going, but you know, I think Junior's still going strong. Um, uh, what's this? I forgot the guy up in New York. It's just so many, bro. You know, KQKC, he was a part of. I think he broke from the LDBC KQKC. It's a lot of them, man. It's a
The
lot
Cali
of them.
Enigma. I remember him.
Yo, oh yeah, Cali was good though. Cali had that positive energy. That's you know he had that positive energy. Cali Enigma, a lot of them, man. They all scattered out around. They come back when they want to. You know what I'm saying? They
Goodfellas. I like Goodfellas. Goodfellas.
Goodfellas, you know, Goodfellas, yeah, Goodfellas. He come in and throw some little shots. You know what I'm saying, over here? He come from that old LGBTQ because you know he split from them too. And they was, you know, just putting all this personal mess on the tube. And I was like, man, what are y'all doing? You know, so you're supposed to be talking about boxing, bro. Why y'all talking, trying to shade each other like y'all women or something? You know what I'm saying? It's like talk about the boxing. That's what it's all about. It's not about the personality. You know what I'm saying? It's not about shading other channels. You know, it's like you don't get nowhere doing that kind of stuff. I can't believe grown men doing that shit. And these guys are well into their 30s, 40s, and stuff like that. CC. He says, for nine lost his damn with the video. Hey, but for non back though, for non back, I love that. You know, he ain't as animated. He's not as you know. I think he's like really taking the hands off approach. He's not getting as toxic as he used to. So I think he's just kind of took a step back and kind of just taking another approach because now I see he's a little bit more down the middle a little bit until it comes to Devin Haney. Now don't talk about it because don't talk about Devin Haney over there on the Fanon channel, goddamn it. You know what I'm saying? Because at one time he was supposed to be like broker in the deal between him and Gary Russell, right? And
Yeah.
when I came back, it was like he hated the Haneys. I don't know what the hell happened between that time, but you know, you know, it's been a crazy ride, bro. It's been a crazy ride when it comes down to this boxing channel wars type stuff. But you know, I never got caught up in it. You know what I'm saying? I just kept talking about boxing. You know what I'm saying? That's what the hell I see. That's what I know. I said I ain't trying to get into these people personality. Blue Blood, he went crazy. You know what I'm saying? He went on like this egomaniac, uh, calling everybody want to be me. Everybody. I was like, what the hell is going on with Blue Blood, man? But he said he made the Terence Crawford David Avenesian fight. He said he made that fight, and the manager Marty is just, whoo man, having a field day with that. Mm, he's having a field day with that.
First of all, Blue Blood was the minion. Fred and him act like minions because they was always, spreading rumors, going up, setting up interviews, talking crazy, throwing little they and it's or reporting fights that didn't happen and then acting like, they didn't say that. Like, yo, you know what you said, right?
Well, the thing is, it's like once you become a big channel, it's like the fame. You got to stay. You got to keep the controversy coming in. Because I forgot who was Blue Blood partner that passed. He was a cool ass dude. Uh, I think he was like one of boxing's. That was a real talent right there. That dude used to come on this channel that passed. I
Mm.
can't remember his name now. Where Blue Blood was crying that his friend died. Had passed.
Breaking news, Pooh. Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson are supposed to fight in spring for an exhibition match. I don't know what the hell
Man,
that.
stop.
Uh,
Nobody want to see that, bro.
they
Nobody want to
don't.
see that.
They don't.
Ain't nobody want to see that shit, bro.
They don't. I
Yeah.
agree.
But getting back to the boxing, that's all behind the scenes and stuff. There's a lot of history, long history to the ones who don't know. Um, the things that that went on and stuff. Hood championship boxing. I know he told me something. I don't understand why such and such don't get along with such. I said, bro, that's a long story, bro. You got to be here on YouTube, to know that stuff. It's like why people just don't come on each other's channels, like because they don't like each other. You know what I'm saying? Marty just jumped right in with 2 feet. You know what I'm saying? And did his thing. Marty just came in. I think that was the first channel he talked on. Yeah. I mean, I had a lot of people over here. I just don't let it go to my head.
No.
That's it.
Talk that shit, Pooh. So yeah, I put on you on your Birdman show. I put on a lot of you Weezys.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I just take it for what it is, you know what I'm saying? Just, we talking boxing, that's all it is. I don't, just because you got a bigger channel or whatever, it don't matter shit to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening for the boxing knowledge and what you think about it. Some of these guys got some really interesting perspectives on these fights. I mean, shit, boxing has been diminished in a way, but it's
Yeah.
starting to come back. It's starting to come back with some good fights. And I want to build on it. I want to build on it, say get away from all these boxing egos and stuff like that. Cause this is my last, boxing ego used to come to smaller channels and steal their ideas.
Oh, he did.
Hell yeah, man! Bob, you come up with a phrase, or you come up with anything he could use. You know what I'm saying, to stay on top. But Boxing Eagle will come in, listen to your channel, and take your shit. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Your idea, whatever. The bigger boxing channels would take your ideas, bro. They do this shit full time. So, some of you guys that's dynamic like KO boxing, some of the guys who's really passionate and really in their bag, the bigger channels will come in and listen to your shit and take it. Champ side. You know what I'm saying? ESPN, that shit. They used to steal from champ side all the time.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Some of the analysts who don't want to do their homework and stuff, all they have to do is come in and tune into the podcasters. It ain't copyrighted, you know what I'm saying? So they could just come in and listen to what the wave is, what's going on, and so they could get a feel. Boxing article writers and stuff, all they have to do is listen to what's going on YouTube, and they can write their articles. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So it's a lot of free work in these boxing streets. He says Kirk Brown was that guy that paid. Yeah, Kirk. Was it Kirk Brown? Kurt. I know it was Kurt, but Brown, was it Kurt Brown? Kurt Sugar. There you go. There you go. Kurt Sugar. I said not Kurt Brown. Kurt Sugar. Yeah. So that's back when blue blood was everything, man. That's when he was blue blood. So to me, what I'm saying, when he started all this clickbait stuff like that, I didn't know where that was coming from. I didn't understand where that was coming from.
So
All the clickbait.
what was the prime of that era, Pooh? Like what year was it, before the Floyd Pacquiao or after?
Oh, it was after that. It was
Okay.
after. This was during this when Terence Crawford went to Black Prime. That's when all this stuff started happening.
Okay.
When Terence Crawford went to Black Prime, that's when all this stuff really started happening. Just things just I think he just got I think, some people can't handle success, you know. I think success changes a lot of people, and it takes you gotta be really grounded to handle, what I'm saying, fighters coming to your channel, you know what I'm saying, having sources inside camps. You gotta be able to handle all that shit, man. You can't, get the big head and thinking you're Larry Merchant or thinking you're Jim Lampley. I'm just giving you an example. Not that I think that they're stars or to be I'm more like a what's his name? Albert what's his name? Einstein. What's that Jewish dude name that do box? I just saw him in an interview last night.
Like,
Albert Bernstein. Albert Bernstein.
okay.
I like him. He's low key. He just come in there, he just tell it like it is, and he don't be trying to outshine everybody. He just come in and tell it like it is. Albert Bernstein. So I like that dude. You know what I'm saying? That's my dude right there. And I think Kurt Sugar was like that too. Kurt Sugar had stories for days. He could tell you, he could link this shit up from 1938 to today. Then he had personal stories of sparrings and stuff like that. I think he used to coach. I think he used to coach boxing or something like that. But
Mm.
yeah, that was the good old days right there. Them was some of the good days. He said, you want to see Spence versus Bud, but pass before it ever happened. Sad. Yeah. 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 I think he would have been shocked too. Well, no, he probably wouldn't have been shocked. Saying Sugar he was a good analyst, bro. He really was. You know. Yeah, he was a damn good analyst. I used to love listening to his stories and stuff. He always had stories, for days. That was incredible. We got some incredible people in this space. It's just so many people just get caught up in the fame of having a channel, you know what I'm saying, and just talking about this boxing. The more viewership people get, just it kind of distorts their view of reality, and they just think they become stars. You know. That's why I go to whoever channel I think kind of match my personality. You know what I'm saying? So I don't try to go to like I could go smoke podcast. I can go over there. All of them know me, you know what I'm saying? I can go there, but I don't be feeling like getting up in there yelling and cussing and all that kind of stuff. So I could go to a lot of channels, you know what I'm saying, and speak on things, but I said this is state of myself because this shit gets real crazy, you know. It gets real crazy. I get
That,
some
that,
crazy
that
folks over
Wilder
here.
Fury era was definitely crazy.
Oh man. Oh man. But shit. But let's see, let's get it back to the boxing. Let's see. Um, so far you got Shakur Stevenson talking about, from what I understand, the fight is signed, with
Oh,
Tio
with
Tio.
Teofimo.
Yeah, I heard the shit is signed, bro. I said I couldn't believe my ears because I never thought that Tio would have the courage to fight, somebody like Shakur Stevenson. Now that's gonna change. That's a good fight. That's a good fight. Now, Shakur's coming up, you know, Tio, this is another big fight for him. He's good in big fights.
I
He's
got I
good in
got
big
T
fights.
I got T.O., man. I got T.O.
Damn.
Pillow hands ain't gonna get it, man. Pillow hands ain't gonna
Woo,
get it.
woo.
If because here's the thing. You can say what you want to say about Teofimo. You can say he's all over the place mentally. You can say he be doing the racist shit, and he does. He definitely goofy. But make no mistake, everybody forget he was the one that made Lomachenko look mortal,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And he
But
did
but you
it.
but you saw how that fight went though. It kind of the way he won it, he just kind of like jumped up and won like the first 7 rounds. And
Mm.
then he damn sure started, once Lomachenko started cooking on him, he just looked like somebody saved me. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't look as dominant at the end of the fight.
He did,
Um,
but he look. He made Lomachenko respect the power, right? Now versus Devin and Loma, that's a 50-50 fight, man. Depending on what time you wake up in the middle of the night or in the morning, you might say Lomachenko won, you might see Devin won. That was a very close fight.
man, I thought Devin was tearing his body up, bro. I thought Devin won that clearly. You know, Lomachenko was missing a lot of shots. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, that Devin Length was giving him a lot of problems, And then Lomachenko, he starts slow these days. You
Mhm.
know, during that time, I think if he would have fought Lomachenko maybe 2 years prior, I think he would have
Mhm.
beat that easy. But I think because he started slowing down, they come, these Europeans, they come out of amateurs when they like 28 years old, when they 27, 28. So they ain't got but a few years. They got to get all their fights in, you know what I'm saying? And then,
That's
they
true.
age rapidly. You know, saying because you know how boxing is, you have a couple of fights a year, you just it just you start going downhill, and Lomachenko, I think he was the best when he first came in. He had about 400 goddamn amateur fights, so he came in running, you know. That's why, Tank, he wanted all them dudes. I think that Lomachenko right there, what I'm saying, the one that was on his tippy toes, you know what I'm saying, and you couldn't
Mhm.
touch him, that motherfucker was the Matrix. I think
Mhm.
he could have beat them all. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Even Tank, because Tank wasn't ready yet. I don't think Tank had come into his confidence yet.
Mhm.
Um, but right, you could see Tank kind of have a confidence problem. I don't think it's that he can't beat other fighters. It's just that where's his mental state? He's kind of like Tyson. His mind got to be in the game, what I'm saying, for him to be good, and what I'm saying, you can shake his confidence. Because I think he could beat Roach, but he got so much other chaos going on, and what I'm saying, in his personal life. And just like Tyson, got a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of crazy people around you, women, that type thing. If you don't get all that, what I'm saying, worked out, then yeah, you're gonna have a shitty boxing camp. What I'm saying, you're gonna have fights like he just had with Roach. Um, you know, I just think this. I think the whole exhibition with Jake Paul, even though it's gonna make him a lot of money, I just think it came at the wrong time. It came at the wrong time. I think he should have just went straight to the rematch when it knocked out Roach, showed everybody that it was a fluke, and then when he got his money from Jake Paul, I
Man,
think that would have been. Say what now?
I think he's scared, man. I don't think he feel like he
I,
can beat
I
Roach the way he think, man.
I think his mind just ain't there. Just like EJ had his personal problem. You got to take care of your personal problems. You can't have all this stuff going on around you. You
Oh,
got to
most definitely, most
you
definitely.
got to exclude yourself. And now see, that ain't got nothing to do with your opponent. You know what I'm saying? Your opponent don't know you got chaos going on. They just train him to beat your ass, right? So you got to take care of your business, man. And a lot of these fighters, they still young. It's a lot of, they're not leading a fighter lifestyle, and it shows. It shows. They're not disciplined. You know, having problems with their trainers, this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? No, you got to get your team together, man. One thing about Crawford. One thing about Crawford is Crawford teams. Crawford team stays together. They keep everything inside. You know what I'm saying? Their team is very strong, and that's going to lead. That's going to make you a lot better fighter. What's going on? What's going on? As Jay, what's happening?
What's good? What's good? Can y'all hear me?
What's that? Yeah, we can hear you.
Really,
Oh, okay, yeah. What's good? What y'all here cooking on, man? I kind
What you
of
got? What you?
fell out for a second.
Well, I hope it ain't. Well, I hope you're up now. What you wanted to say?
Nah, I said I kind of fell off for a second, so I didn't hear what y'all was talking about.
oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no, we were just talking about the team. About Tank. He was saying he think Tank's scared, and I was saying, well, I just think Tank got a lot going. When you got a lot going on in your life, what I'm saying, you can't focus. Boxing
Yeah.
is one of them niche sports where you got to be focused, because you got a lot of stuff to work on. And Tank is he trains hard, but if you got a tumultuous personal life, you know what I'm saying, and you can't concentrate on, what you need to do in the ring, right? He's also a confidence fighter. So, he's got to focus and get his confidence together, what I'm saying, to be able to beat these guys, so he can
I,
turn
I,
up
I
when
I
he
ain't
need
gonna
to.
lie, Pooh. I think Lamont is old dude's. kryptonite. I just think he gonna be a
Well,
problem. I just
he
think
may
that's
well.
kryptonite. I just
That could be.
because he don't fear him. He don't fear him. Like the thing with Tank, I could tell by the way Tank was handling the press conference and Twitter, like he didn't feel like he had the mental edge, so he would do extra. You know, oh, you little bitch, you just you my little nigga. Da, da, da. All these things is when you don't feel like you got the mental edge, so you doing all this extra out of your emotions. And I think Roach saw that he just like he didn't go into the fight like, yo, I don't fear you. Like I don't see what they see.
Yeah,
Well,
I
they
agree
know
with that
each other.
100%.
They know
Yeah,
each other. I mean, they fought. They've been in the same gyms. They grew up with each other. So when you fight somebody that know you, it's a little bit different. I always say, I forgot that guy that was Roy Jones Jr. sparring partner. He was the first person to drop Roy. You see what I'm saying? So when you fight somebody who knows you, it's just a little bit different,
It
because
is.
they don't have, like you said, the same fear. They don't have the same fear. They know what you do in the ring. They know how what I'm saying. They know your postures. They know your attitude. They know who you really are. And so this is more of a fight with two friends, or not friends, but two guys that know each other.
Mhm.
Growing up. So
hell yeah.
it's a different
It's like when
it's a different dynamic.
your big brother. It's like when your big brother, he running the block. But then when you get home, it's like shit. I ain't scared of dude. You know what I mean? Like I'm not scared of him, but
Mm-hmm.
the whole block scared of him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They just see something you don't see, and you
Well,
ain't you
I
used to
don't
it.
think Frank Martin was afraid of Tank until he got hit a couple of times by that power. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Frank Martin, he went in there,
I ain't gonna lie. Remember when Javante bucked him at a little bit and he was about to throw everything? I don't know, man. Frank, he had Frank. He was in Frank head.
man,
Yeah,
He
Frank
could
was
I
going at
think that
him.
was his goal. I think Frank like what dude was saying. I agree with that 100%. Like I feel like that was Tank's goal was to try to get in Frank Martin's head, and I think at the beginning of
Hmm.
the fight, Frank Martin did a good job of like not being afraid. He was like he kind of went into the fight like okay, I'm gonna just fight my fight, whatever. But then once that power set on him, and Tank just kept coming, that's when he just started was like, man, this dude probably really is what they say he is. And man, he just folded to the power.
and that goes back to what you saying, Paul, about the confidence. He got to feel like he got an edge. And the thing
Facts.
with
Hmm.
old dude looking at him like, nah, ain't no edges, man.
Yeah.
If you gonna have
Yeah.
to take this for me, you got to show me. I
Well,
don't believe in the boogeyman.
well, he punching in between Tank's punches, and he was catching Tank. And Tank was like, "What the hell?" You know what I'm saying? You can see the look on Tank's face, like, "Damn, this nigga countering me and shit." You know what I'm saying? And making me
Yeah.
miss. And that shit was like, you never see Tank in fights like that. See,
Not
and
at all.
that dude's just as athletic. He had good legs.
Yeah.
So when you see, if you're not used to fighting competition that's kind of equal to you, and you're not used to it, you know what I'm saying? It's like when Sweet Pea and Roger Mayweather fought. You know what I'm saying? Them dudes were closely, you know what I'm saying, aligned, you know what I'm saying? So you got to get used to fighting top competition, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think Tank is used to fighting, guys that can bang with him, guys that meet them in the middle of the ring, guys that can slip, guys that got skills, you know what I'm saying, out the mud, just like him. You know what I'm saying? You got to figure out a way. Some of these guys, you got to figure out a way to beat them. Like Floyd had to figure out how to beat Zab because Zab was faster than him. Zab could move his feet faster than Floyd. But Mayweather stayed calm and composed and figured it out. You know, say he
Yeah.
wasn't rattled, even though this guy was had better athletic gifts than me. He was able to slow the fight down and outthink him. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Tank
Floyd
is
is the
that type of
master.
fighter.
Here's the thing about Floyd. Floyd's the master adapter. He's just gonna adapt to situations like
Yeah.
this. I don't think that's just Floyd. Also, the thing with Floyd is, I want to say a good, especially when he was Money May, not Pretty Boy. He
Hmm.
mastered getting in people's head. He mastered at that point. He mastered like damn near all the Hispanic boxers. They got Floyd living rent free in they head, whether they gonna admit it or not. he mastered that.
But
Yeah.
like you said, he's the master adapter. Like Diego Corrales,
Mhm.
Luis Castillo. Those are some hard. Them were some hard Hispanic guys. They were the
Mhm.
stars of that era. They were supposed to be the ones that exposed Floyd, and Floyd went
Mhm.
out there and figured it out. He went out there
And
and
that
figured it
was
out.
I feel like too with Floyd, the one thing that people don't really give him a lot of credit for is how mean he was. Like Floyd was a real dog. Like
He
Floyd
was.
had to. He was very skilled. You know, he was 90% of the time. I say 95% of the time more skilled than everybody he got in the ring with. But even if you wanted to make it like a rough fight, Floyd would get rough with you. You
yeah,
know
he
what I mean?
would.
He not gonna let you punk him in the ring. Like he was a real dog. So he kind of like Crawford to me, where them dudes is just like they dog is just on another level than everybody else. So it's like
Yeah, did
you
you
might
did
get
you
in the
see the
ring with
Demarcus
somebody that
Corley
can
fight?
match you.
I,
So,
I don't know,
Did
man.
did
Crawford
y'all
got to
see the
show me,
Demarcus Corley fight? Y'all see the Demarcus Corley fight with Floyd?
man. You talking about the chop chop? Yeah, I remember that. I
Yeah,
remember
Chop Chop. You remember Chop? Now that was a dog fight.
yeah.
I think he hurt Floyd. He fucked Floyd up in that fight. For one, you always get one. There's always a fighter like Sugar Shane Moses. Somebody they always get a good punch on Floyd, man, and he Corley like staggered Floyd on that fight. But boy, Floyd came back, man. He was like, man, bitch, stop crying. Let's go.
Right.
God damn. I said Floyd is a dog. He is a dog. And
Right.
I think Crawford got that. I think Crawford got that too.
Man,
I do too.
I just think Crawford. Look, man, do he got some dog? Most definitely. I just think that,
Hmm.
like we've all said, I think he's a great fighter, but he's done a great job of positioning himself. And
Hmm.
he kind of did the Floyd thing where he let everybody beat the fuck out of each other and then come in. Except he did it
Yeah.
even, I would say, more than Floyd did to a degree. Because it's like, look, man, you, who would you say is his greatest challenge up to this point?
Like
Who
in the
that? Him or
ring
Crawford?
Yeah,
or
in the ring,
leading
in
up
the ring.
to in the ring,
You
probably Gamboa for
probably
real. To
Gamboa.
me.
Gamboa.
And that's nasty work because Prime Earl beats the shit out of Gamboa. Prime
Yeah.
Sean Porter beats the shit. It's like you ain't. That's the thing. But I get. Hey, he did what he's supposed to do. But
C Wood in the
you got to
building.
show
What's
me.
up,
I
C
do
Wood? Long
agree
time
that
no see, bro.
that go ahead, my bad, Paul.
Oh, I was just hollering out C Wood. What's going on, C Wood? He told me Curry will make mince meat out of T.O. Man, that's gonna be a hell of, we got some hell of a fights coming up, man. I'm talking about it's no joke, bro. It's no
Yeah.
joke. We got some hell of a fights coming up.
Yeah.
I don't even know about that. Go ahead.
Let me speak on my dude point what he was saying about Crawford. And I'm
Mhm.
not even a Crawford fan. I'm a diehard Earl Spence fan. Like Earl Spence is really the fighter that brought me into boxing as a diehard fan. Before
Mhm.
Earl, I was
Mm.
just a casual fan. So I don't fuck with Crawford. You know what I mean? I respect this game, but he not my favorite fighter. But to my point, what I was gonna say was I believe Crawford is a dog. I do feel like he moves strategic, like what dude was saying. That
Mhm.
his career, he waited until everybody was like on their last leg and really didn't have much to fight for and all that kind of stuff. But that dude is a dog, man. Like his
No.
his mentality, his demeanor, like just his, just everything he about, like how he wired.
Mhm.
He just
I
a
mean,
dog.
and I agree. You can't take that from him. But here's the thing about it, right?
Yeah.
You only as much as a dog as the dog that's in front of you.
C Wood. They don't know. They don't know about. They don't know C Wood.
Right? You only as much
Yeah.
because the thing about it is like it's not it's not that you waited them out. It's that you said, "Well, I don't need them. I don't need that for my reputation. I'm good. I'm keep them." But every chance, but while you saying that, you seeing what's going on, and Bob Arum is offering you these fights to fight Pacquiao and fight these dudes. You're not taking it, but you trying to make it that the people ducking, and it's not
He
no
tried to
ducking. It's
fight
that you
Pacquiao though. He did try to fight Pacquiao. Now I give
but
him that. He
but
did try to
then back
fight
Y'all,
Pacquiao.
I'm
backed out of it though. Because he
I'm
had
gonna
to,
tell
because
y'all.
Bob Earl, now Bob be lying, so we ain't gonna, we ain't gonna sit up here and say, but Bob was like, well, shit, if fights was that he wanted, we was always trying to give him the fight. He just didn't want him for whatever reasons or whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean,
I ain't gonna be the
we
one up here to defend Bud, but I just feel like that dude's his just how he just wired, man, is just different. Like I ain't seen too many fighters like, that just they I just feel like, just how he was raised, where he from, all his family, his bloodline is all fighters. And I
here
feel
we
like
go.
you can
See,
see that in him.
chill.
hey,
Okay, so,
here we go, y'all. Y'all finna open up a goddamn can of worms. Well, we've been
Yeah,
arguing on
yeah.
this shit here for
no, no,
years.
no. But here's my thing. You right. You look. He's a fight. He's
See,
definitely
they
got
done
some jobs
started.
into.
I feel
We can't.
like what I'm trying to say is I feel like Crawford was put on this earth to be a fighter. Like
Most
that's just
definitely, we
what
can't
he.
take that away from him.
Yeah, like some of these dudes, they fell in love with boxing and all that kind of stuff and just became fighters. I feel like that was Crawford's destiny. You know what I mean? Like that's just who he is. Like that's everything about him is just like he just loved combat. You see him, he always wrestling around with dudes in the
Yeah, I
gym.
mean,
Like he just got that type of demeanor.
and I understand,
Let me tell you. Let
but
me
when
say
you
this.
ain't but when
You
you
know,
ain't getting beat on though, it's different. Like that's the thing. Like when you having the Marvin Haglers, the Sugar, the Tommy Hurt, when you are fighter, but you get into these fights that take something from you, it's different. We ain't
Yeah.
seen nobody. We ain't seen nothing take nothing from like Earl. We seen that. With a lot of dudes, we seen that. We seen that. It's like we ain't seen that with you. So you whooping the shit out of people, we get it. But what happens, what I'm saying, when you kind of go through, it's just like Michael Jordan said, he's like, look, I would have loved to have lost the championship and come back, but I never got that because I never took it like that. I never took that chance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the thing about it. You can't hate on him. He did what he did. He had the top. Look, I'm an Earl Spence fan to a degree too. He beat the shit out of old dude, man. He ruined my night, man. We just sitting there
Nah, he
watching the
ruined
fight.
my
I need
fucking.
he ruined
but
the
y'all,
night.
but
Mm,
let me say this.
go ahead,
You
Pooh.
see the energy that those two fighters bring. You know what I'm saying? It's like like I mean they bring like energy to this boxing thing. You know what I'm saying?
They do.
Even with
Yeah.
that little time y'all started talking about it, it started spiking up in here. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? When you talk about those two fighters, that's how
Mhm.
you know they're great. That's how you know they're great fighters. Even though
Yeah.
Crawford shit on Errol Spence Jr. legacy, but there, you could tell that there's a lot there because anytime people start talking about those two fighters, it's like all of a sudden it's almost like talking about Hagler, Hearns, or it's
Yeah.
almost like talking about some of them. It's like the great rivalry. You know what I'm saying? We have very few great rivalries nowadays. You know what I'm saying? And them two, they actually met. Now I don't like the way they met. You know what I'm saying? And got it on, but it is what it is. You know, the results were the results.
I
You know
used
what
to
I'm
feel
saying?
like that about Broner, man. I used to feel like that about Broner until he was.
I mean, Broner did so many things wrong, bro. You know, he moved up too fast for one. He didn't. They didn't check the gloves. They didn't check Madonna gloves. You know what I'm saying? And I think Madonna had loaded gloves on him. You know what I'm saying? He was just too wild and cocky. He didn't put the team around him to be able to catch what was going on. You know, he was too busy trying to entertain everybody. He says he didn't wait out. We're not trying to go back down the timeline. I've had so many people try to go back, bro. I'm so
No,
damn
sir.
tired of that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
oh God, bro, we done been through
Man,
that
I
so
just
many
watched
times.
the fight. I just rewatched the fight for the first time, man, just because I'm
Mhm.
trying to do like I'm trying to analyze him and
Yeah, he know
Bud
good
and
job.
Canelo. Man, I watched that fight again, man.
Yeah, even
Man, Bud,
uh
Bud was just on
even even
another
even
level, man.
even Shakur Stevenson said that EJ is a Hall of Famer. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah,
It's
for
like
sure.
it's like I don't understand why people can't just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? They take such a hatred, you know what I'm saying, for the other side, you know what I'm saying? Um it's just interesting, you know what I'm saying, to watch, you know, saying the way the boxing community works. You know what I'm saying? You can like who the hell you like. I don't care if you're biased or not, you know what I'm saying? That's always been you like who you like, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, but don't lie or don't try to keep the truth from what you see. You know what I'm saying? If you
Right.
see it, like for one, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Crawford won the fight, but I think it was a lot more to it. I think it was a lot more to it um, than we see on the surface. Why that fight went the way it went, but it ain't got nothing to do with Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford, he's one of the best at preparing. So we got see. There's so much in boxing that makes you win in the ring. Whoever the best is on that night, and see, we knew that years ago. We knew that we had fighters like Jake LaMotta and Sugar Ray Robinson, right? They fought 6 times. You know what I'm saying? We had fighters that fought, what I'm saying, back to back. Anybody can win on a given night. You know what I'm saying? It's like it depends on if that fighter don't come feeling right or whatever, you still got to fight your fight.
Yeah,
Muhammad
man.
Ali,
I
Frazier.
wish we would have had more of
Uh,
that. I wish these dudes weren't ducking so much so we could get
I mean, just because
a
you just
3 or
because you
4 fight.
basically just because you win one fight, what I'm
Mhm.
saying, don't mean anything. You got to fight a couple of times. It used to be that way. Now, fighters just fight one fight to get by you. You know what I'm saying? Now they ain't got to
Yeah.
do that shit no more. And then we got to look at the testing that's going on because fighters are on so much shit nowadays. It's ridiculous. People saying that's an excuse, but no. If you got the Grand Dragon of goddamn steroids in your camp, you know what I'm saying? You got to look at that, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got the Grand Dragon in your goddamn corner. So you don't think nobody gonna think you did something? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just, I'm behind Bud. I want Bud to beat the hell out of Canelo. But if he
Yeah, I
goes
wanted it
out
too.
there, if he goes out there and knock Canelo out, I'm be like, oh my God. I ain't finna say shit. I'm be just like them Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say a
Right.
goddamn thing. I'm be just like them Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? But goddamn well, if Bud go out there and not be the first to take Canelo out, I'll be like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, he on them
All right, let
roids.
me let
He
me
on the
ask y'all
roids.
this.
He on
Speaking
the
of that,
roids. I'm gonna call it right now. He on the roids. Fuck it. Like let's just fuck
I
it. Let's
mean,
go.
this is what I'm looking at, H. This is what I'm
Mhm.
looking at. How much muscle can you pack on in a year? Functional muscle. I'm talking to
about 7 pounds.
bodybuilders. I'm
Seven
talking about
pounds.
I'm talking about how much muscle can you build in 1 year and be functional with that shit. Because
Yeah,
a lot of muscle slows you down.
Yes, it
Crawford is
does.
he's a sleek assassin. He's a sharpshooter. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a better sharpshooter than Canelo. I think he's a better boxer. I think he thinks faster than Canelo. But when you're talking about gaining muscle, you know, um, I looked at Roy Jones when he fought the heavyweight in the heavyweight division. Now he didn't go all the way. He didn't get 200 plus pounds. He went like something like I forgot exactly how much it was. He went. He didn't get that damn heavy. If I'm thinking Crawford, he's not going to do the full 168. You know what I'm saying? Because he still got
yeah.
to move around in that ring. But how you gonna gain that much muscle in a 1 year? You know what I'm saying?
Here's the
Now,
funny thing,
I
Paul.
think Crawford
Go
gonna
ahead.
go in there and be like probably a middleweight, like a small middleweight.
yeah,
Like I
yeah.
think that's where he gonna
But
be
they
at.
say
Like
he's
as
big.
far
I
as
mean, but he look big though. He do look big. But I'm
I
just
mean,
surprised.
weight wise, I feel like he might, go in the fight heavy, like probably what a normal 168 pounder would weigh, maybe a little less. I say maybe between 170 and maybe 173 to 175, somewhere in there on fight night. But I feel like as far as functional muscle, he'll probably be like a small middleweight, in my opinion, like a
Mm,
160 pounder, with just a little extra weight on him. You
So
know.
so so here's the thing. Everybody keep talking about Terrence. Wait, what's the rehydration clause?
It ain't one. It's
it
just
don't
they both
matter.
can
It don't
fully.
Nah.
matter
Yeah.
because
Okay.
it's called the Canelo weight clause. If that motherfucker come in at 260 pounds, they wouldn't give a damn.
Yeah, for
You know what I'm
sure. He made
saying?
the weight. That's all that mattered.
Yeah, it's like, but at the same time, it's gonna be harder. It's gonna be harder to follow Terence Crawford around that ring. Now he haven't moved his feet like that since he was like down there with Gamboa. He don't
Yeah.
fight like that no more. He don't fight like that, light on his
I,
feet,
I,
like
I
he
ain't
like
gonna
I,
he
lie,
I
used.
y'all.
think I think Crawford has no chance if he go in there and try to move around the ring on Canelo.
I think
Mm.
Canelo. I think
I,
Canelo
I
gonna treat
I
him
think we're
like a
gonna be
big.
surprised. I think we're gonna see Crawford hold his ground. I think he's gonna
Yeah.
box him on the inside. I think he's just gonna use slick boxing. You know what I'm saying? I think
That
it's going to be
that's the only
Look
path
at
to victory for
Paul
me.
trying to use
Crawford.
imagination. So you
I
telling
Nah,
me?
always do. That's
No,
my thing. That's what they do.
okay, so here's the thing. You think if we just keep it real, we all three know that Canelo not finna be his natural weight. He finna roid out his ass. It's a lot of shit. Like that's my thing. And people also underrating Canelo. Like, oh yeah, he old dude got more skill. I mean, not by
hell
much.
no. Not
We're not gonna
if
sit up there and
anything
act
to
like
me.
Canelo ass because Canelo didn't embarrass some people. Like, he's lost to some people, but he's also embarrassed some very, very good fighters. And I'm not talking about Jamel either. If he's able to come, if he decide to wipe off the little rust and do what he's supposed to and roid up, I got him knocking Terence Crawford the fuck out in 8 rounds, man.
Yeah,
uh,
I agree, bro. I feel like
uh,
to me,
I
I
think
feel
niggas
like
is forgetting that clenbuterol meat different, man. It's
man,
different.
I feel like Crawford is gonna have to. I feel like his only path to victory is to sit in the pocket, not necessarily in the pocket, but sometimes in the pocket, but at mid range with Canelo, and he just gotta be sharper and just out slick Canelo. Because if he try to move around the ring on me, Canelo gonna wear him down, beat his body up, and with the extra weight, with him moving around for about 5-6 rounds, with the punishment that Canelo gonna be piling up on him. I think Canelo gonna stop him late. I think
I
his
think
best bet is to try to absorb the power and just be as slick as he can and just win and just outpoint him in at
This
mid
is
range.
this a cash out fight,
and
man.
see, I think that's going to be part of it, right there. But see, Crawford is a good. See, Crawford, he's most potent when he's punching in between your punches, and I think
Yeah.
he want to see what his power. I think he want to see if he can hit Canelo with something he don't see.
Yeah,
And he want to see how Canelo reacts to that. I think he's going to get right in that mid range. He's going to step inside what he can avoid because Canelo, all he got is a hook. He's got a quick overhand right and left. You know what I'm saying? He knows his punches. He's been studying them for a year, so
yeah,
he knows when Canelo's going to lunge. Crawford is on that boxing shit. You know what I'm
yeah. He
saying?
is.
You
That-
shouldn't be
that-
able to load up on a boxer. You shouldn't be able
that-
to load up on a
that's
boxer.
cool. You facing the T1000. That's cool. You facing the T1000. Look, we seen Canelo sit up there and trade shots with Triple G and trade
Hmm
shots with a couple. I don't think there's nothing you finna hit him with that's finna shock him. Your best bet is box him like Floyd and keeping anything else. You try to trade punches with him, I'm a counter punch. Your black ass going to sleep. I'll tell you that right
But
now.
the only problem
Going to
is his
sleep.
defense that gotten better since he fought Floyd.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
That's what people not understanding. I've seen Canelo bob and weave on brothers. I was like, oh, okay. He didn't add it that. He ain't just mincemeat. Now he ain't been doing that lately. But if you think he don't know what he got to do, and if you think he not looking at it like, what? This a fight where you coming up and I get to do it how I want in this chic and we can get the Clenbella on me. Oh, this nigga barbecue chicken. As Shaq say, this nigga barbecue
because
chicken.
well, think about this. Danny Jacob didn't do too bad against Canelo. He was just missing a lot. Danny
His
Jacobs
ass off. That's the fight I'm talking about. That's why I was like, oh shit, and Danny Jacobs is pretty good. So I was like, Canelo over here making him miss like he Floyd Mayweather.
I mean, and yeah, you know what I'm saying. I just didn't understand why Danny Jacobs just couldn't get his punches. His timing was off. Um, he just couldn't get it together. It's like I don't understand. It's like, bro, Danny, you way better than that, bro. It's like he went. I don't know when it comes to Canelo, it's almost like people forget how to fight. It's like they forget. It's like you just feel like some of them fights ain't real, man. I thought Danny Jacobs should have beat the brakes off of goddamn Canelo. And half the fight, he couldn't even hit him. I was like, what the
I
hell's going
agree.
on?
I mean, the Jamel shit. I know that's how I got introduced to your channel. You was the only one that kept it real. Yeah, Jamel took that fall. I was like, yeah, that's the only way because he from Houston. Ain't he know better than to go up there acting pussy like that. Cause like, let's see, go get knocked out or go sit your ass down. Don't be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You felt the power. Now all of a sudden you over here turning into T. Floyd and shit. Yeah, box is more than about. No, it ain't because you was against anybody else. You loading up. You loading up like for deal help, like you know what I'm saying? So I was like, no, come on, man, I don't get it. And I agree, Danny Jacobs fight, I thought it was gonna be a whole lot better, but that's what I'm saying. If people, Terence Crawford is definitely pound for pound, but we're not gonna sit there and act like Canelo minced me and he got his senzu bean, his clenbuterol meat. You crazy?
Well, I think the clenbuterol meat or whatever it is. I think when you go into a situation and you're aware that these things are a part of the situation, you game plan for it. I think Crawford's team, they're game planning for all those things you're talking about. They're well aware of the steroids. They're well aware. The thing also too, we got to realize this as well. I mean, if you look at the what was the white boy fought, knocked him out late? What was the name again? I forgot his name. You know what I'm talking about. Canelo. The slick fighter. You know what I'm talking about on PBC. What was his name?
Who you said?
The slick fighter. The white boy slick fighter. Caleb Plant. Yeah, if you look at the Caleb Plant fight, Caleb Plant was, obviously he had a lot of success in that fight. My problem is that, just like you were mentioning with Danny Jacobs, right? We can't be deceived by the reality. We know what we see. You know Danny Jacobs could have done better. You know that Charlo could have done better. And we know that Caleb Plant could have done better. How do you fight a Canelo, Caleb Plant? And in the middle of the fight, you ask Canelo, what does he think about his performance? I mean, is that a real fight? Is that a person really trying to go out there and win? No. Those are problems for me. So I think a lot of fighters, when they get in the ring with Canelo, they're already defeated mentally. They're not looking to really, truly win. And that's what I think is going to be the difference maker in this fight, the mentality. The mentality that you're fighting someone that's not going to back down. When we saw Terence Crawford get dropped by Green Machine, people can tell, everybody want to focus on the drop. No one focuses on the response. What was Crawford's response? Okay, you got to go. When Gamboa dropped him, what was the response? This is the reality. That's a mentality now. And people don't realize the mentality and how that works in competition. I'm sorry. I think it's going to be a problem for Canelo because Canelo is used to people doing exactly what Charlo does, what Caleb Plant did, what Danny Jacobs did, even what Triple G did in the second fight. Dude, what are you doing, dude? Where's your body shots? You just jabbing? Where's your?
But here's when people say that, people are forgetting why they're doing that. Look, people are forgetting. Can Canelo do a lot of stuff to the body he do here and there? I understand what y'all saying about Terence, but again, I think Terence is the best fighter pound for pound. But the thing is, there's weight classes for a reason, and we got to give Canelo his props, right? About what he does and how he's able to kind of take people out of certain things, and it's unproblematic. We look at it and be like, why ain't this person fighting him like he used to? Because he know the power, and what we don't know is dudes is out here playing dodgeball. So it's a game within a game. And it's we ain't seen Crawford have to deal with that, and definitely ain't had to deal with that with the 154, 160, 168 pounders, when dudes have been able to do that and do their little boxing thing. One mistake, one, oh shit, did you see that? You going to sleep.
So let me ask you a question. And I just want to hear your take on it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, so with all the fighters that we've seen in history that have done, things like move up in weight, what was the difference maker for those individuals that actually were successful? Of course, the most notable one obviously is Bernard Hopkins, and then of course, Spinks and et cetera. What about those scenarios? What make those scenarios unique?
Well, okay. So the thing about those scenarios is I feel like even though they moved up in weight, it's not too much in difference of strength and being able to take the power of those punches, right? And I don't think necessarily they were facing somebody like when I say Canelo, it's not just all about his talent and skill. It's we all know what comes with Canelo. Number one, if it goes to the scorecard, there's a high possibility you're gonna lose. Now I know Bevel won, right? That's number one. If it goes to, it's probably an 80% chance you're gonna lose. Number two, there are things that he's probably gonna be able to get away with that you're not going to.
Correct.
Right. So that's two factors. And the third thing is that now it's kind of like to me, the attention, the energy, what it means to take the Canelo fight. I think Terence is not going to be affected by that. But the other two, it's like, yeah, I understand you're going to come in here mean, you're going to want to throw it back. But it's just like if you see a strong-ass pit bull fight a Great Dane or a Tibet Mooster, you can have as much dog as you want, but the other dog is he's just too big for you. He's just too big for you.
So when Bernard Hopkins moved up, didn't it? I mean, how many weight classes did he move up to go to win that fight? When he fought, was it Tarver? Was it Tarver?
He did. But
how many weight classes did he move up though?
What was it to it? I don't remember. How many was it?
It was about 2, right?
It was about 2.
So is it safe to say that all of the quote unquote physical disparity and all the perceived power and all the perceived too big and all these things, is it safe to say that Bernard Hopkins did the unthinkable because he's just cut from a different tree, right? What if Crawford might just be also one of them special ones? What if? Just what if? I'm not saying he is.
I mean, it's a 50-50 fight, right, with that. So I ain't gonna set up it, but 60-40, in my opinion. I just don't think, I think everybody's kind of looking at it like with that same thing of not respecting what comes with Canelo, right? And then I think it's like that's a big thing, right? Again, Jermell, I think he took a fall, but I think what happened was outside of the moment, Jermell saw, oh shit, okay, hey, all right, that power, that what they talking about, that ain't nothing to play with.
I respect that, but now let's just be honest, though. Let's just be honest. We all men. You mean to tell me in any of those press conferences you saw a confident Jermell? There was not one.
No. Thank you. No. I'm not going front. I actually was kind of. I thought, okay,
yeah,
maybe,
I thought the nigga was
some...
gonna lose. I thought he was breaking camp, going home. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Fun with
I guess what I'm saying. This is what my apologies. This is what I'm saying is when you compare Jermell on all of his other prior fights, right before Canelo, there's a certain energy. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I always thought Jermell was the more vicious one, the more dog. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, good. So what I'm saying is this. In all of his other matches, he had no respect for his opponent. I mean, he talked greasy.
Yeah.
But we didn't see the difference when it came to Canelo though. He's respecting, he's complimenting. The testosterone levels are decreasing a little bit. I mean, personally, I was kind of shocked. I was like, yo, this is not the Jermell that I'm used to. And I'm not even a Jermell fan, but I always respected the fact that I know he's gonna bring it.
$10 million to do that to you. You know, you getting paid the highest amount of money you ever get paid. That'll do it to you. You know?
I mean, to be fair though, I ain't really seen Terence Crawford just like, we know he a dog, but I ain't really never seen him say nothing crazy to Canelo as well. I ain't seen, usually outside the Errol Spence thing, because they respected each other. Usually Terence, if he don't know you, if he not cool with you, you know, he come with a certain energy. He just waiting for you to pop off. Once you pop off, he take it to another level. I ain't really seen him do that to Canelo either, to be honest. It seems like when they fight him, they kind of tone that down. I don't know what that's about.
Well, I'll be honest with you. You said a key thing. He only responds when he feels disrespected. And I mean, and Crawford responded when Canelo said what he said, you saw that look in Crawford's face, and he responded with you know, I'm gonna stump a mud hole. You're gonna be, you know, like, I mean, he's not all the rah-rah, but I'm saying that there is I don't get no cowarding down from Crawford at all. And none of the press conferences, I'm getting that straight up, like, he look you right in your face, straight up looking you right in your soul type vibe. You know what I mean? That's what I'm getting from him. I'm just saying, compared to that's why I don't like using the Charlo as a reference point. Like we got to kind of stop, because I don't think Charlo mentality was even there for the Canelo fight. I mean, we know what it looks like to fight. And I'm sorry, I don't care if somebody hitting hard, bro. Like, you gonna still fight. Like, you gonna fight. I mean, I done seen Charlo get it out the mud in fights. So for me, I'm like, you know, I'll give you an example. When we saw Benavidez fight the other Cuban, we saw that Benavidez was like, it didn't matter what he was getting hit with. It was like there was an element of, you're not going to beat me. I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't care how much power you think you got. You're not going to defeat me. And that's all I'm saying. Like, I don't see nobody fight Canelo of late, of recent. I'm not talking about any past fights. I don't really see that, bro.
No, I
And
mean you're right. We haven't seen nobody really just take it to him
Well,
like that.
I thought McGee, came in with that energy. I think McGee he gave him.
No,
I think
I will agree. I will agree.
McGee
But
went in there. Go ahead.
no, I agree with you. Munguia came in, and if you go look at that fight, actually, Munguia landed quite a bit. But of course, Munguia don't have the IQ, right? So it was like, it was great until it was not great no more, right? It was like, it was great until it wasn't no more. It was a great effort. He came in with a lot of energy. He was actually landing a lot of stuff on Canelo. Canelo was missing quite a bit too, but. And then, his IQ ain't there. So obviously he gets caught and he gets dropped and, he goes all 12 rounds. But I mean, that's okay. But then McGee gets knocked out by the Frenchman, right? Somebody on paper who has no power. So then it's like, how valid is that even that? It's like, it's hard to kind of, Berlanga, if y'all want to prop Berlanga, Berlanga, Berlanga was having difficulties with like regular, like not even elite fighters. But
and you're right, but I'm gonna look,
that's why they get the fight.
I'm gonna
That's
say
why
like
they
this.
get the damn fight.
Don't be surprised if old dude turn back the clock just this one time. And
I agree. I agree with you.
I'm gonna say this for everybody. After this fight, I think Canelo fool. I think after this,
I agree. No, now one thing I will say is this: I believe Canelo is gonna come. I think he is gonna reverse sometime. I think he's gonna come with the old Canelo. I really do, because I think Canelo realizes.
He don't got no choice. Like that's
yes,
he can't play around.
I agree. Yes, I agree.
He can't afford to lose to a guy coming up three two-way classes down. He know he can't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You got all the
He's gonna drop the ball for all the super middleweights, all the super middleweights in history. You let a motherfucker come from 147 to whip your ass, bro. Come on, man. You safeguarding the middleweight division, man. You gonna be a disgrace to the super middleweight division if you let that happen. And then he's Canelo on top of that. He can't afford to lose. So I think I think Canelo is very confident that he's gonna beat Crawford. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead. My bad.
Go ahead, bro.
I was gonna just say this, that I think part of the reason why Canelo is able to preserve himself is he don't take those fights with people like Munguia and Berlanga. He don't take those fights serious. Those fights, I feel like he go into those training camps. Not saying he's trying to lose, because of course he's not trying to lose, but I think he takes those training camps lightly because he knows that that's part of him preserving himself for the big fights. So I don't think that we can look at those fights and judge his performance based on how he's going to fight at Crawford. Because if you even look at the Jamel fight, if you look at how the shape that Canelo was in when he fought Jamel and when he fought Berlanga and Munguia, it was on a whole nother level. So I say all that to say, the reason why Canelo is able to have damn near 70 fights and last as long as he is because he knows the fights and the camps that he needs to get up for, and he don't get up for all of them. And I do think that's part of the reason why he takes so many fights that are not like big fights before he takes another big fight. Because it's all part of like kind of what we were saying about Crawford, how Crawford was kind of waiting people out and doing all that kind of stuff. Regardless of if you believe that's true or not, I feel like it's strategic to how these dudes move to preserve themselves to last long in the sport.
I've been saying that on my channel forever. I've been saying it on my channel. That's what you can't do like a Earl Spence Jr. Go out there and fight all these hard. Even Floyd. Well, Floyd was different because he had a style. He had the defense. But I've been saying that shit on my channel forever. I said now the thing to do today is be more strategic in how you fight. Whether you call it cherry picking or not. But whoever's preserved at the end, you know what I'm saying? If you coming against a fighter that's not as banged up, I'm just noticing that, cause I was so used to that fighters just, fighters just going in, just wanting to be the best or whatever. But these guys, they're not fighting these hard fights, bro. So they taking their time. You look at Keith Thurman. I'm saying they're not fighting all the hard fights just straight like they're not just taking them down the line. Is what I'm trying to say. They're strategic. They're being more strategic nowadays.
I got you.
Hey, do you guys hear me?
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm new to the channel. I love the channel. You hear me good?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of choppy.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I love the channel, man. I'm new to the panel. I just want to give my take on the fight and everything. Honestly, I hope Bud wins because I love the underdog winning. I really do. Like, it's what makes boxing great. I always root for the underdog. It's just it's a little hard to imagine it. And I think what you guys were talking about earlier, why these guys go in with Canelo and they just kind of defeated. I think it's two things. Like, so Mayweather had that thing where, like, he would demoralize guys with his defense. Obviously, that was his thing. Like, you just knew you couldn't hit him. And I think with Canelo, they get in the ring like that because they know they can't hurt him. And I think that's demoralizing for a lot of these guys because they just know, like, it's hard. Like, it's like fighting Wolverine. Like, you just know you can't hurt this dude. Like, and I think that and the counter punching ability, like, they know if they hit, like, if they get in the pocket, they're going to pay. And I think Bud has to fight a defense fight to win. The only thing that concerns me is he's more of like take one and give one type of fighter. You know what I mean? Like he's a dog. He likes to fight.
He got to get his lick back. He's one of them type of fighters. If you hit him, he got to get his lick back.
Exactly. Yeah. Like if you look at Bivol was ranked the best defensive fighter in boxing when he fought Canelo. And he was much bigger than Crawford, obviously, much longer. And so was Mayweather. They were both defensive wizards basically. And Bud is he's a take one and give one guy. Like he's gonna fuck you up if you hit him. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only thing that concerns me. You know what I mean? Like I feel he has to keep it on the outside, and he has to swim without getting wet. That's the way I see for him to win.
Well, we thought the same thing with Errol Spence Jr. with that take one to give one type stuff, but his hand speed is. I think Canelo's gonna be surprised at how fast Canelo really is. I mean, not how fast Crawford hand speed really is. I think that's going to give Canelo some problems.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think Crawford's timing. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. You could talk.
Sorry. No, you good. You good. Go ahead. I'll wait.
You said the right thing. Timing.
Yeah. His speed, but Crawford's timing is even better. I really love his timing. Like, and I think I think he. The thing is for me to like the skill gap between them. I don't think is as wide as it needs to be for Crawford to win. That's the only issue I see. But his timing is amazing. But he does have to hit Canelo with something Canelo doesn't see, and that's, you know what I mean. That's what it is. It's just I just need him to be defensive because I want him to pull it off. I really do. I think this is better for boxing. If he pulls it off. You know what I mean?
I don't think you have to worry about that. I think Crawford he's always a measured fighter. If he
go ahead. I'm sorry.
He always a measured fighter. You know what I'm saying? He's a counterpuncher. He's a natural counterpuncher. So, but the only problem is if he get hit by Canelo. I mean, he get hit by Canelo, it could knock him out. He could get knocked out.
If he don't come in there on floor, if he don't look, because the thing, if he come in there trying to throw and trade, I'm telling you, go ahead and get that boy. Go ahead and get that boy. What's the mattresses that get that boy one of the mattresses because he's going to sleep. He
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Do you think Crawford has a better chin than Munguia?
Oh, you want to me?
I'm asking the panel. I'm asking the panel.
You can say that. I mean, maybe we ain't seen him. We ain't seen him at this weight. Take it. We
How about a better chin than Berlanga?
I think they're bigger, so I think that's a hard question to answer because they're a lot bigger. You know what I mean? Like I think I don't know because Bud never fought at this weight class. That's kind of.
So do y'all think Anthony Joshua has a chin?
Somewhat. No. I mean, not really. I mean, somewhat, but not really. yeah. Because
the only reason.
If you thump AJ on the goddamn chin, he going down.
The only reason I'm asking is that I think people are associating being bigger with having a chin, and I don't really see it that way, right? So I'm saying this. I think people are going to be very surprised when Crawford gets hit. And that's what's going to be the tell. We're going to be able to know. And just like I kind of view it like the Stevenson and Zepeda. I mean, let's be honest. Everybody kind of thought that Stevenson had to fight a certain type of fight, but he kind of switched it up for everybody, and he fought an entire different fight that no one really expected. And it can be done. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying Stevenson was a Mayweather, but it was quite impressive to see what he was doing against somebody that was a volume puncher. And I'm pretty, and a knockout. I mean, his
Yeah,
percentage of knockouts were quite high. Go ahead.
but if Zepeda had the power of Canelo, that would have been a different fight.
I didn't
You
think.
know,
I thought that was the only way Shakur was gonna be able to fight that fight. Zepeda just way too active for Shakur to be defensive, in my opinion. So to me, I
Understood.
felt like that was his only option. I felt like no matter what he wanted to do, that was gonna be the outcome of that fight, no matter what.
Understood.
Also, real quick, if people watch Shakur his whole career, he's actually a good inside fighter. He's always been good in the pocket.
He's a great inside fighter to me.
Yeah, he's really good.
give me a
I've always
second.
known he had that in his bag.
I think he could have stayed away from Zepeda, but I think they bullied him into fighting that fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think as soon as he started moving away from Zepeda, that's when Antonio Tarver told him he gonna lose the fight if he start fighting like that. And I was like, what the
Antonio
hell is
Butter
going on?
Biscuits Tarver.
Bro,
Do y'all think that Crawford has a pretty decent inside game or no?
He does, but he should not stay in the pocket with Canelo. That's suicide.
I think Crawford's problem is he's great on the inside, but at times he just goes crazy, like ape shit. At times he wants to just completely brawl it out. And I think he needs to be very educated on the inside when he's doing this shit. He can't do that in this fight.
No, he's very strategic on the inside. The problem is he's just got to figure you out first. You got to get the confidence, and he got to get your timing down. His problem is he's a slow starter.
Yeah. No, I think he'll do it because if you look at Spence, he never really went crazy. Like he was very technical the whole time on the inside against Spence. He just can't do that. Because sometimes, and if you look at his older fights, sometimes he does that. He'll just let his hands go crazy. Like he just wants to slug it out.
Look, if Canelo
is a good inside fighter, like as far as like punching in the inside, but I think that if y'all in a wrestling game, I think he can do good in that as far as like just getting leverage and playing that type of game. But I think where Crawford is good at is not technically on the inside, but like it's like when you're not on the inside, but you're not like at mid range either. It's like right.
Yeah.
When you have to go in the inside, Crawford can get real good leverage in a short distance and hurt you. But like them hooks he was throwing at Earl Spence, it was tiny spaces, and Crawford was getting hella leverage on them shots. So I think he can if y'all remember the punch he knocked out David Avenesian with, it was like a real left hook or right hook. He knocked Avenesian out with.
down the pipe.
Them type of hooks he can on the inside, he's real good at that. So I feel like that could be a problem for Canelo.
It reminds me. Go ahead. My bad.
Nah, that's all I was saying.
It reminds me of Bruce Lee when he had the 1-inch punch.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I mean he got videos showing you of him, working on his short shots and everything. You know what I'm saying? Going around on the bag, showing you, his little inside short shot techniques and stuff like that. So you're definitely right about that. You know what I'm saying? He definitely got some nice, and I've seen him working on the power, in the training camp for Errol Spence Jr. I saw him working on those little short shots on the inside, putting power on those shots. So they definitely got a game plan for Canelo. I don't, that's got to be a part of it too. I think he's going to face Canelo on the inside some. I think he's going to be in and out. And just try to test Canelo, because Canelo stamina ain't all that. You know what I'm saying? And once they take him to the second half, he's really going to be testing him on the inside. And if Canelo can't keep up, what I'm saying, Crawford may have a chance to get him up out of there.
Yeah, I think the keys for me for Crawford is how much damage is he gonna take before he figure Canelo out? I do think that it's gonna be a point in the fight where Crawford is gonna adjust to the speed, the power, figure out what Canelo is trying to do to him, and it's just gonna be a matter of how much damage is Canelo gonna pile up on him before he figure that out. So to me, I feel like, man, this first fight, Crawford it's gonna be tough for Crawford to win this fight. I feel like he almost gotta fight a perfect fight. I think he can pull it off, but I'm leaning 60-40 in Canelo's favor in the first fight. But if they rematched, I would almost be sure Crawford will win the rematch against Canelo. And I just feel like it's because he's up against so much. I feel like he will understand the weight more in the rematch. He will know, like, because this fight, he only got one chance to go in there, make sure you at a good weight to where you're not too slow, but not too small either. Then you got to figure out how, okay, if this dude punching on me, I can't sit in the pocket for more than 4 rounds in this fight. He's going to know everything he needs to know in the first one. So I will almost be sure he will win the second, but I'm not sure he's going to win the first one. He gotta be perfect.
I agree. I agree with that 100%. He's got everything going against him. I mean, Canelo to me has to knock him out to get any type of credit. Like if he doesn't knock him out, I'm not gonna give Canelo even a little credit. Like you gotta knock him out. There's no reason you shouldn't knock him out.
I mean, you should look. Canelo looking at this. I'm trying to win. More than likely, he's gonna go for the knockout. But I think it comes down to can Terence Crawford take his punch in a boxing ring? We've heard him fight heavyweights and sparring. That's cool. And can he make Canelo respect his punch? If Canelo don't respect that punch, it's over.
Yeah,
I agree with him. Bro, if it goes past 5 or 6 rounds, that's not good for Canelo. We all know Bud is a slow starter. And especially in the beginning of fights, he does get hit. But once he, quote unquote, downloads that data, it usually ends bad for people.
I would say don't count on that for this fight. I would say don't. I would just say don't count on nothing when it comes to, because again, we don't know if he could take the punch and if he could give a punch for Canelo.
No. In my scenario, Bud is able to take the punch, or he's at least able to mitigate the power of Canelo. And I'm saying if he can do that, it's not good for Canelo, because the reason why the Madrimov fight went the way it did is because Madrimov is a smart dude. He knows you can't give Bud the same looks over and over again. You got to switch it up. You got to use feints. You got to use footwork. You got to be patient, because if you give Bud a certain look, he's gonna figure you out and start picking you apart. Everybody knows.
I mean, that works if you're dealing with lower caliber fighters, C-level, D-level fighters.
Yeah, but Canelo, I mean, let's be bro. Canelo does what he does against. He's basic, bro. He is. At this point of his career, Canelo is very basic.
I wouldn't say basic. I would not say basic. I can't say. The thing. Look, I'm not a fan of discrediting Canelo, because then it discredits Crawford if he wins. And if Crawford wins,
I'm not discrediting him. What I'm saying is Canelo at this point of his career is basically a come forward counterpunch.
Bro, Canelo has actually fought tough competition.
Yeah.
That's what you guys are missing.
We're not talking about his resume. I'm talking about
the ring against another top fighter.
You can't discount.
When you go in the ring with another
That's
top
what he
fighter,
is. Well, how would you describe his style?
We all can't talk at one time. When you go in the ring against another top fighter, what you've done in the past in terms of your competition matters. That prepares you.
I'm not talking about his resume, though.
Let him get his point out. Everybody let each other talk. Go ahead.
Yeah, ISO, y'all got it.
That prepares you to fight the best fighters. Now, Canelo's been in there with some tough hombres, guys who we thought could beat Canelo. We ain't never seen Bud in the ring with somebody we thought could beat him, and that's could be by design.
Has he though? When's the last time Canelo was an underdog in a fight?
He's been underdog a few times.
He was an underdog in that Bivol fight.
Probably
he was not the underdog against Bivol. You're wrong.
When was Bud the underdog in a fight?
Hmm.
He hasn't been, but I never said he
His
was.
whole
So I don't know
career.
why you even bring that up.
I got to bring it up because you just brought up with Canelo. So
The
you
thing,
can't
the
just
thing.
No,
flip one side of the coin. You got there's two
no.
sides to the
That's
coin,
not
bro.
my point. So it's not an argument. You're the one that said that he's been fights where he's been an underdog. No, he hasn't.
Yes, he has. He was an underdog in the
Who?
Gennady Golovkin
So,
fight.
Yeah, in the first.
If
He
I
was an
could,
underdog in the Mayweather fight.
yeah, like the thing is, a lot of the
and
things
he
Canelo
arguably
does.
lost. Well, he did lose one of them for sure, and he
It's okay
cheated
to
against
lose.
Triple
It's
G.
okay to lose if you're in there with tough competition. Ain't
Okay,
nothing
well,
wrong
you're
with
not gonna
losing.
get credit for losing, bro.
Yes, you do.
No, you
The thing,
don't.
but can I say something?
Nobody is looking down on Marvin Hagler because
I'm
he lost to Ray Leonard.
now.
Let's
Yeah.
cut
I'm
that out.
Crawford gonna get credit. I'm gonna give him credit if he get in there and lose
Ain't
this
nobody
fight.
gonna look down on Hagler because he had a tough fight with Leonard.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give
It's
him a
okay to lose
credit if
if you're in there and you competing. But it's all this stuff with Bud Crawford ain't been in there with nobody. You guys think he's gonna go up to 168 and be Superman against Canelo Alvarez? Y'all gonna be in for a rude awakening.
The thing is
There's
that
gotta be
people undermine Canelo's skills because a lot of the things he does are very subtle. You really can't see it unless you're really looking at him in the ring. Like for example, his footwork. You know, if you noticed, he kind of like leans his torso backwards while he's inching closer to you, so you don't know your distance. He's very good with maintaining his balance. That's part of the reason he doesn't get knocked down. He's very good at maintaining his balance. It's hard to counter him because he doesn't just throw reckless. He picks his punches, so you don't have a whole lot to counter with him. He conditions you like what he did with Berlanga. He was conditioning Berlanga to aim, to block downwards, and then he came up with the hook, and then he knocked him. So it's a lot of little things he does that people can't really see. So I don't really want to undermine him because I want Bud to get full credit if he wins the fight.
Well, he does
yeah,
have tricks and techniques, but when
Yeah,
you're talking about you fighting another boxer who's a student, when you fight
yeah.
another student of the sport, it's not. I don't think he's going to be able to trick Crawford like he could trick. Like their boxing IQ is not as high as
Bro,
Crawford.
those guys are trash. I'm sorry to. I'm not trying to say other, but like Berlanga, Munguia, a lot of these guys are not elite fighters.
Hmm.
but
Even he
that
had
go.
the last person he fought was elite was Bivol. You saw what
Look,
happened there.
yeah, I feel you. Look, I want Bud to win. I really hope he pulls it off, man. I just it's just a lot going for him. But I know what you're saying. I mean, I do think, he's been in the ring with a lot of people, Canelo, and he has a lot of experience. But I hope Bud can pull it off, man.
I don't think
I,
resumes can fight for you. I'm not one of those people that just likes to harsh on resumes. Because if that was the case, Canelo should have beat Bivol. You got a way
yeah,
better
but
resume than
that
that
was
dude.
his fifth. Yeah, but that was his like fourth or fifth weight. Like I'm not making
Hey
excuses for him.
man, well, no,
But
I don't. I
no, no, no,
don't
no, not
agree
even
with that
excuses. No, no,
excuse either. I
no,
don't
no, no.
agree with that
Bivol,
excuse
Bivol
either
did good.
because he had already been in that weight class and he beat Kovalev.
No, no, no. I agree. I give Bivol his credit, but like usually when a fighter goes to his fourth weight class, like they look human. You saw when Crawford fought Majimov, he looked human too. That's normal. Like usually when a fighter goes to his fourth weight class, he starts to look human. So like I'm not discrediting. I'm just saying that like I wasn't one of those guys that thought he would beat Bivol for sure because I knew that was enough. He don't really belong in that weight class. So I was like, all right.
I don't think he beat. I don't think he lost to Bivol because of the weight. I think he lost to Bivol because of the skill.
Yeah, I mean, Bivol did have the right style for him. I saw that because he has that in and out. So I do agree that Bivol had a stylistic advantage on him. But so
I
I
mean,
I agree with you on that.
think about it. Canelo's been there with guys like Callum Smith, Munguia,
Yeah.
and Berlanga and Kovalev. These guys are just as big as Bivol. Some of them are bigger than Bivol. So
Hmm.
it wasn't a size issue to why he lost to Bivol. It's a skill thing.
No, I agree with you because if you look, one thing Bivol and Mayweather have in common, they don't fight alike. But Bivol was ranked the best fighter statistically on defense in all of boxing when he fought him. So they're both defensive wizards.
I
Right.
think
And that's
Yeah.
for me, I think that, and this goes to what the guy was saying earlier about what the fighters do in the ring against Canelo. Like you see these dudes fight their fight and stuff like that, and then when they get in there with Canelo,
Hey,
they
you're
just
kind of choppy, kind of chopping up, bro.
can you hear me?
Kind of chopping up, and you real low. Can you turn up your thing? You're like real low. Turn up your volume. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. So what I was saying was, I feel like with Bivol like I was saying to the point the guy was making earlier, you see all these dudes get in the ring with Canelo. and you know they usually boxers or whatever their style is, and then they get in there with Canelo and kind of shell up. But I feel like it's because Canelo has a real imposing style, and I feel like with Bivol, he was the superior boxer, but he also had the weight to not let Canelo back him up. So he was just as physically imposing, even though he's not a big dude for his weight class, he was a bigger dude for Canelo. And all those
Hmm.
other dudes, they let Canelo, Canelo he's very sharp with his punches. His hand speed is deceptively fast, and he's a great counterpuncher with that imposing style coming at you. He don't let you back him up. So if you a small dude and you don't have the weight to kind of help you out with you know holding your ground with him, it's gonna be bad, man. That's why I really feel like this fight can really go bad for Crawford if he's not perfect, because
Hmm.
Canelo is gonna be imposing, and he got a very educated jab when he's trying to get off his power. When
Yeah.
Canelo's trying to let that power go, he knows how to use his jab to time you, to step in the inside. He's very educated with that jab, and then he'll follow it with a big, fast, straight, accurate right hand. You know what I mean? And
And
he
to
don't
add to
care
that,
where it
brother,
lands.
Canelo got a chin. Like with all of
Exactly.
that, that's the thing about it. Like, cause he may not come in trying to duck and slip every punch, but he got a monster granite chin. We have
Right.
not seen nobody clip him yet.
Right.
Yeah, and
And
another
that's
That's
thing
not
part
too
true.
that
that's part of
That's
his
not
that's
true.
part
He's
of
been
that what I
clipped
was
twice in
saying.
his career. He has been
no,
clipped.
but
Triple G
Yeah,
clipped
but he
him,
was
and Cotto's a legitimate cousin clipped him early in his
Okay,
career.
they
yeah.
clipped him, but he came back for more. That's the difference.
Okay.
I'm talking about
Okay.
clip where you get hit and you be like, oh shit, it's like that. He ain't never done that.
yeah.
Another thing too, if you look at the Bivol fight, even though he lost, he was making Bivol miss a lot of punches. Like part of the reason he doesn't get hurt is not only his chin, but he kind of like turns his head with the punches. So if you look at him, it's hard to see. You got to slow it down, but he turns with the punches. He turns his head when a hook comes at him, and is also he's never really out of position when he throws. So that's why it's hard to knock him down. So
Facts.
like when guys let punches go with Canelo, he gets into like this groove where he starts, rolling and slipping and riding, and normally he doesn't do that in a certain fights because a lot of guys don't want to throw punches at him. But when Bivol let his hands go, he was moving and blocking and mitigating the damage really well. You know?
Shit, I thought Bill was about to get Canelo ass up out of there. You know what I'm saying? A few times. He had Canelo on them ropes.
Yeah.
Uh, I thought Bivens, if he really turned it on and if he didn't want to run into, I don't think he wanted to run into nothing crazy. So,
hmm
but
hmm
I thought Bivens was about to get Canelo up out of there, bro. They
No, it
got
looked like
bad.
it at moments. It looked like it at times because he was throwing punches him on the ropes. But if you really look, Canelo was mitigating a lot of the damage. Like he got hit, but he mitigated a lot of the damage. That's the only thing. But I feel what you're saying.
I got a question.
Mhm.
Okay, how great is Canelo really? The fact that we're giving Bud a chance to win this fight. Because hear me out.
We
Hear me
talking about
out.
it.
Hear me out. Hear me
Good.
out. Imagine Bud had just went undisputed at 47, which he did, and we said a
Yeah.
lightweight go 2 weight classes and beat him. What would that say? You
I
understand
mean,
what I'm saying? Like,
I don't consider them equal. I consider Canelo to be a borderline all-time great, and Bud Crawford to just be a Hall of Famer based on accolades. He said he's undisputed 2 times, but who did he really beat?
hmm
Did he run the gauntlet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he run a gauntlet? Did he defend undefeated like Bernard Hopkins did? He's it's gonna be a mismatch fight when you watch it. You'll see.
he's
You'll see guys
I
will say
think
he
I
looked
think
Canelo.
close.
I think
Nah.
y'all remember Bradley. Bradley said something that was interesting on his podcast the other day. He said the thing that separated Pacquiao from him was that Pacquiao was just a better athlete than
hmm
he was. And if you
Right.
think about that, I think Terence Crawford is a better athlete than Canelo. I think Canelo got
I agree with that, Paul.
not taking nothing from Canelo's skills. I just think he's a better athlete. You see what I'm saying? And he got more gifts. He can do more things. When you're athletic, you know what I'm saying? It gives you an edge. You know what I'm saying? Speed, reflexes, instincts. You know
No,
what I'm
I agree
saying?
with that. I
I
agree with
just
that.
think
Yeah.
he's a better athlete than Canelo. And I think with that, it gives you a more versatility, you know what I'm saying, to be able to do things. That's why Spence got beat, because he was fighting a better athlete. You know what I'm saying? Where Spence had to work on everything. Some people just got it naturally. I don't know if you ever played football. You got people with
Mm-hmm.
cut bodies and they never lift weights. You know what I'm saying? You got people that could jump
So,
out the gym and they never
Paul,
work on that shit. They just got it.
Paul,
Yeah.
Paul,
Yeah.
the one thing the Canelo fans didn't want to mention, but the main difference between Bud and Canelo is adaptability. When Canelo fought Bivol, what did he do after he couldn't really do much with Bivol? The same thing. He basically
Mm-hmm.
spammed the same game plan the whole fight and it didn't work. Bud doesn't do that. If something is not working with Bud, he will switch it up and do something else. His ring IQ is higher than Canelo.
The
Well,
thing.
it's easy.
The,
That does make
I,
oh, sorry.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
It's easy to have high ring IQ when you're fighting lower level opposition. I mean, let's come on now. Are we saying that Crawford has fought better
Yeah, the thing.
competition than Canelo?
No, no,
Because
no,
just think
no.
about what
fighters than
everybody
I
said
Canelo.
think
about Tank
when you
before he
coming
fought
when
Lamar
when
Roach.
you remember Barrera and Pacquiao, when you fighting guys coming from that, they gotta think boxing. They gotta think faster. You know what I'm saying? They got to deal with more different variations of punches and stuff like that. So what you in the heavier weights, you just you kind of more dealing with power. You can kind of outthink those
Yeah.
guys. I think Crawford's coming from a lighter division. I think he's just going to be faster. I think he thinks faster than Canelo because he's coming from a smaller weight division. Um, I think Canelo, he's used to being the quicker one, coming from the smaller weight divisions themselves. You know what I'm saying? But now he don't have that edge anymore because now he's starting to age a little bit. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting, bro. It's gonna be interesting.
What to to, to 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 the guy that was talking saying the lower level opposition. Um, my question is, didn't Crawford fight like 19 champions or no?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, we ain't for to do that. Well, we ain't for to
No,
mess
we
with the
didn't. No, he
resume
did not
thing.
fight no 19 champions.
We ain't
When
for
they
to
were
do the
actively
Are you
resume
talking
champions,
thing.
former
Crawford,
champions or
hey,
current champions?
we supporting Crawford over here, so we're not gonna destroy his resume. Even though Canelo kind of ate him up in the press conference the other day, I thought that shit was crazy. But we ain't for to go down his resume, bro,
No,
because
Bud has a good resume. I don't think Bud has a
we
bad.
Yeah, that's
we
what I'm
Bud
saying.
has
support.
a
What
Hall
I'm
of
trying to
Fame
say that
resume.
the whole. See, my thing is this: didn't Canelo have a better resume than Laura when he fought Laura?
Canelo. Yeah,
Um,
But
that I
Laura,
don't
I
know. That's
mean,
a tough one because Laura. I mean, you could probably
okay.
say that, but he didn't really. Before he fought Laura, he didn't really fight nobody. Austin Trout and who else? Old Shane Mosley.
he beat Marginov. He was a champ. He was the WBA champion, some shit like that. Yeah, yeah, he beat a champion. He had it for about
Yeah,
3 days.
the thing is that he might throw more combinations this fight, Canelo, because if you look, normally he loads up, but that's because he's fighting guys with way bigger reach advantages in him. So when you're fighting tall, long guys, you can't just throw a three-punch combination. If you look at old Canelo when he was in the smaller weight classes, he would shoulder roll, he would counter off the back foot. He can't do that really, because he's fighting these bigger guys. So he's got to pick his punches a lot more. In this fight, he might let his hands go more. He might.
Hmm.
Might because the reach is not going to be as big of a deal this time. But I think Bud has a good resume. I think people shit on Bud's resume because they're comparing it to maybe some of the top guys' resume. But he has a good resume. I don't think his resume is bad. You know,
Hey y'all, I
people act
gotta
like
get
his
out
resume
of.
is horrible. Oh,
Hey
sorry.
y'all, I gotta get out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Yeah, I gotta get the wife and stuff. And but we'll come back. You know what I'm saying later on. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, I just gave it 3 hours. Let me see. What is today? We'll see if we can come back tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And hope you guys, tune in or whatever. Yeah, but I got to get up. I got to run right now.
All right, Paul.
All right, take care,
Have a
man.
All
good
right.
day,
See ya.
bro.
See you guys. Hey, hope y'all come on back through. All right now.
I'll come back through. All
Bye
right,
bye.
peace.